There we go. Now we have sound. All right, we're getting started finally. Not too late this time. Welcome everybody to the playground. I'm Pixie Phoenix. I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch. And it's Thursday night. We're adding a new TTRPG to our schedule. Monday nights we play Vampire the Masquerade. It's a fantastic time. And now we're going to check out a new system for some of us, Blades in the Dark. I'm joined tonight by Nox, our storyteller, Zack, Skot, who's also in Vampire with us, and my kiddo, Amber. So it's a family affair. So how is everybody doing? Let's do a check-in. Yes. Sorry, the neck has been popping really bad today. Oof. No, she got it from me. It'll like 4 pops on each side. Scott's like, not the noise, not the noise. Well, to let everybody know, all our viewers, we appreciate you being here with us. Tonight is kind of a session 0, getting all of us acquiring more knowledge, possibly working on the character sheets. Sound alerts are turned off, but the visual alerts should still pop up. So feel free to hit us up in chat. We love chatting with you guys, answering questions, anything. We're here to hang out with you guys. So let's get started to a new game.
Idea of exactly what this world is. This is, depending on when you want to look, either set in an alternate past or a future yet to come, but where things kind of went backwards. It's very, very whale punkish. If you've ever seen either the trailers or you've played Dishonored, that kind of feeling to it. But the reason why everything is the way it is that at some point in the last reasonable history, a couple 100 years or so, the sun shattered. So as a result, there is still some ambient light that is still available to the world, but there's basically, the world is basically in a semi-perpetual darkness. It's either really dark or pitch black. To add to that, when this event happened, it also basically cracked the line between life and death. So now there are ghosts and demons running around, which are kept outside of the city somewhat by giant electrical fences that are powered by electroplasmic energy from the blood of demon whales, leviathans. So, TLDR, you are stuck in a city with some of the last remainders of humanity being haunted, and your only defense is the walls that are powered by whale blood.
So we're in Attack on Titan?
No, we're in Fallen London.
You want to go out, Truffles?
Out. Everything is very steampunky. There's very Victorian era, so lots of flintlocks. You've got steam-powered boats. There's some stuff that's maybe powered by electricity, but electricity is by and large more difficult to come by than it is in our current era. So with that said, this is also very much a game of haves and have-nots. You are obviously the have-nots. There are people who live in Duskfall who are exceedingly wealthy, who are able to live almost normal lives, and there are people who starve in the streets because they have nothing. But enough about Cincinnati.
Ooh, deep cut.
So, with that all in mind, you guys are playing Scoundrels. You guys are playing a group of criminals, and there's no other way to say that. You are criminals who are trying to make a name for themselves. What are your individual goals? What are your crew's goals? That's obviously what comes out in the game. But the biggest change, and this is kind of a meta discussion, is that you guys are as much a part of the direction of the story as I am. In like Dungeons and Dragons, Vampire the Masquerade, Pathfinder, there is a overarching game master or storyteller or dungeon master who basically says this is what's going on, and you guys are just kind of playing in that world. In Forged in the Dark, you guys have a lot more ability to be a functional part of the narrative. And we're going to get into how that works, how that plays out, and some examples and stuff like that. But before we do any of that, the first thing that we need to figure out, I think, is what kind of group you're going to be. Because that's going to, well, you guys can do anything, that will generally instruct the kind of jobs that you guys are known for. So, you'll notice up in that there is a character called Crew.
Okay.
Everybody should have access to it now. I just gave everybody access so you can actually look at it.
Try to reload it. There we go. I put my glasses back on. Ugh. Sometimes I just have to give my eyes a rest, and I've been on the computer all day, so.
So we're gonna go over.
Stay over. Now, looks like there's a bubble on the right that's like over text. Is that there for everybody?
Yeah.
Where?
There's the
I'm
main-
still looking.
Okay, Amber, if you go over to where on the right-hand side where the chat is, go up to the top to the one that looks like a newspaper.
Okay.
Click that, and then there's one that says crew.
Okay, I got it.
And then click character sheet at the top of that window.
Okay.
But at least on mine, right underneath the word crew on the right, there's this like bubble.
Yeah, it's on mine
Yes.
too. If you guys are able to see the screen, but yeah.
Because when you enter one of those, it will pre-populate with a bunch of stuff
Okay.
for that crew.
Okay.
So here are the different types of crews. I'm going to just go over them really quickly. Assassins, obviously killers for hire. However you choose to go about that. Executing accidents, making people disappear, ransoming people, straight up murder. Bravos are your mercenaries and your thugs. Extortion, sabotage, smash and grabs, what most people would think of as your general kind of thuggish behavior. You can be your crew can be a cult. You guys are the acolytes of some forgotten god, looking for artifact acquisitions, auguries, consecration of an area, sacrifices. You've got hawkers, which are vice dealers. Product procurement, covert sales, shows of force, social events, basically drug dealers, or fences, if you want to be a little bit more specific about the whole line. There are shadows, thieves, spies, burglary, espionage, robbery,
Ninjas.
sabotage. Yeah, basically. And then there are smugglers, which are contraband transporters, clandestine activities, territory control, expeditions outside the city. Those ones tend to be more controlling what comes in and out of the city. Like a great example of that would be hawkers, might be people who are controlling movement of product within the city, where smugglers might be people controlling the product that's coming in and out of the city.
Gotcha.
So going off of those, what are the kind of things what sounded good? What is and again, being just because you choose a crew, that doesn't preclude you from doing something else. If you're in a cult, that doesn't mean you can't go assassinate somebody if you get the job. If you're a smuggler, it doesn't mean that you can't try to fence goods within the city. It's just kind of what you're known for as a group.
I'm agreeing with Useless in the chat. Cult. But
Yeah, I like the cult. And what was the third one? The pleasure people? The drug dealers or whatever
The
it was?
hawkers.
I like
Hackers.
one of those two.
Can we call it the Pink is Wig cult?
No.
The
Nobody
what?
knows what that. It's some YouTube thing she does. Anyway.
I stream on YouTube and then I accidentally had to misspeak and now it's just spammed in my chat constantly and I'm apparently the leader of the cult now.
She has
Well,
a
there we go.
following already.
It writes itself. Amber's the leader.
So I'm guessing this. So down to cult or hawkers. So
We take a vote, or
I'm okay with either.
what are you
But like
thinking,
you
Amber?
said, one
Cult.
Let's do cult. Cult it is.
Then
all right.
be the cult of Nandor. When we look.
Oh God, no.
I love how our lair is grandma's house.
Yeah, look at that. We've already got a name too.
So where is your coin here?
We're
do
the
I
cult
give
of
you
slaves.
money?
See if I can stretch this.
It's down underneath the
Oh, there it is.
boxes on our left.
Okay. So you are tier
4.
0. That's fine. You're strong. You have 0 rep. Okay. Next. You get to choose an initial reputation that you have as a group. Which
Okay.
is
It's already there.
It's a placeholder, man. It's a placeholder.
which is kind of how you are already known. The listed ones that they have are ambitious, brutal, daring, honorable, professional, savvy, subtle, and strange.
Strange.
Making my
Strange
life
words.
easy. And now we get to get into a little bit of map jumping. So you get to pick a lair in the city. So
Where's Grandma's house?
the first question is,
Oh well.
what district do you want to be in?
What?
What are the differences?
Well, then, are there any specifically spiritual areas or areas that a cultist would flourish?
Well, because you guys are so small, it's less about where like a cultist would flourish and more where would you start your cult? How are you going to go about branching out and gathering followers and things like that? Because at the beginning of this, it's just you guys.
Okay.
I saw a place on the map that was like the Alchemist District or something.
So
I don't know if
Let
that
me-
makes a difference or not. I could have swore I saw that when I was looking around.
Are the districts the black words around the white?
So we'll just move to the very first one.
Barrow Cleft.
So yes, that's Barrow Cleft would be the first. It would be your first area.
Okay, so yeah, the black words in the water or in the between the white are the labels.
Barrow Downs. Well, that's pretty scary. That's where all the dead
Black
people.
Hill.
Ooh, South Dakota.
Oh no,
And it's
Honey
right
Hill.
near a market, so that could
Gotta
be.
Honey Hill, where we make our sugar. Where's Black Hill is by the. Oh, I zoomed in too much. Fighting Goat Lane. All right, Black Hill it is.
There's,
Oh, wait a minute.
There's
What's
Grease Paper Street, like
Oh.
Paper Street.
Wait, where's Barrow? What's Barrow Cleft Precinct? Is that the police?
That would be where the cops are.
Ooh.
We don't want to be that close.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Let's go to Cabbage Street. I heard it smells really good. It's right near Sardine Pool.
Now there are other places. If you don't want to start here, you could always go to, as an example, to Brightstone.
Hmm.
Do we have to pay rent?
We'll get there.
This place looks posh.
It does. That was the first thing I. That's why.
Yeah. Well, the
we have to
streets
pay
are
rent.
ruby, garnet,
Nah.
sapphire.
Go back. What was the crow's feet? What was that one? That sounded good.
Well, the next one is Char Hollow.
Now this looks more like our area.
Only road.
Pissing Alley. There we go. Pissing
Where?
Alley.
Yeah, Pissing Alley. That's where.
There's Soap Street.
Stiletto Way.
Old.
Oh, and there's the Tar Hollow Market.
Hand is throbbing. Jesus Christ.
Purse Snatcher Alley.
Oh my God, that sounds great. Strangford Island. What?
Black Whisper Alley.
Where?
Oh, there. Yep, right up by the.
Just north of the Char Hollow Market.
Right next to
Like, it
Pot
just.
Liquor Flats.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
We're right near the market area.
Hot Liquor Flats.
We're
Black
near the
Whisper Alley.
bridge. We're right off the bridge in the river if we have to dump bodies.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah,
So I'm guessing that's a yes for Black Whisper Alley.
Sure, why not?
it seems like it.
Okay, then we will.
It's got Church Road right there too. So
All right, forget it.
So on Black Whisper Alley, are you guys going for Black Whisper Alley,
Yeah.
or are you guys going for what was it, Piss Alley, or what was that one that?
No, Black Whisper- We'll expand out to Piss Alley later.
So you have a couple different options, or you could for your starting lair. See, here are a couple different things, or of course we can always come up with one. You could go with a half-sunken grotto in the city's maze-like underground canals. There is the watchtower one doesn't make any sense. Back rooms of a merchant's shop. There is a small abandoned house at the end of a rickety lane. A rickety tin-roofed shack on somebody's rooftop. Or a junked rail car rusted into place on overgrown tracks. Or, of course, if there is something else.
We can
that
live like
somebody has in
hobos.
mind.
I kind of like the catacombs.
I like the half sunken grotto or the behind.
Yeah, the half
Yeah.
the half sunken grotto.
Yeah, I think that one would
That's very
suit it.
cultist.
What do you think,
Yeah.
Amber? Yeah? Okay.
Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of detail here to that. And you guys can, again, since we're all working on the narrative here. So if you guys were going to have access to a grotto, particularly one that's going to be underground, the obvious answer is that it would be under the bridge.
Under Market Bridge. Oh,
Right on Blackwater Whisper.
right. Oh, yeah, yes.
Bridge right there.
Great. Will be
So-
sold.
I can type today. Just pretty cool. So, the next thing will be your hunting grounds. Usually you end up, some small part of the district that you're in are known as your hunting grounds. Usually a place that you target for your scores. And it doesn't have to be in the same district as your lair, but it'll be usually a small area, 3 to 4 blocks. But here's the trick. You're still intruding on somebody. So when you do that, I'll tell you who you are intruding on, and you'll have a couple of options on how to deal with them.
So the question is, do we want it to be in the same district or something further away so it's less conspicuous that it's us? It's not in our backyard.
I think it should be a little bit further away.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that little area by Homely Road and Back Lane on the Old Village. Right at the tip.
Mm.
I'm not saying it. What are we looking at?
Go across Bridge Road, take a left. Passing Footpad, Butlers.
I see.
She's talking about this kind of triangular area.
So how big is this area supposed to be? Is it supposed to be like Old Village or the Sheets or the Knackers or what?
So for what we're going to say here, because this is supposed to be, according to this, it's 3 or 4 blocks. But 3 or 4 blocks on here, like if you count the roads, like that's Old Village.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
So.
Well, could we get a little rundown of what we might expect of the Dogtown? Well, Dogtown's pretty big. Old Village or something like that.
Yeah, sure. Let me.
Yeah, Roast Meat Alley.
Purse Snatcher Alley.
Yeah.
Char Hollow. Okay. Char Hollow. So this is basically going to be the entirety of this area. I'll just give you the real kind of brief rundown. This crowded district is home to the bulk of the workforce of the city. Servants, dockers, sailors, stockyard, ealery. There's 3 E's in one word.
Mm-hmm.
Eelery. Like the fact that that's not in some sort of tongue twister. Anyways, cabbies, so on. Cheap, noisy, cramped, sweltering from cook fires and hissing steam pipes. But people, there's a lot of commentary. There's poor people live here, so everybody kind of knows everybody else here.
We want to pick on the poor.
And certainly not this close to home that, like, if everybody knows everybody, then we're going to become pretty famous pretty fast.
Well, based on, like, us being a cult, like, don't we have reasons? Like, if we're trying to acquire, like, different artifacts or sacrifices or whatever, wouldn't that?
Oh, yeah, that's not a bad. That's a good point. Yeah, I was just thinking of money, like go after the wealthy, but you're right. Maybe that's not a bad idea. I mean, are we really, Knox, as a cult, are we really trying to find new followers?
So it's not just about whether or not you're trying to find new followers. Again, you might be doing this to follow whatever forgotten god that you are attempting to appease. Right. But again, like I said, any score, as long as it makes sense to you, I mean, you got to pay bills, so to speak. So whatever makes money, yeah, you might be trying to appease your god. On the other hand, you're not against being a bag man if you need to fucking, pick up some extra coin.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just you described this as being the place of the workers, so that immediately made me think that there's not a lot of money there. And then that also made me think, well, how much do we need money? But yeah, okay, I'm overthinking it as usual. But all right, thank you, sir.
Don't worry, man. I'm bad about it too.
So basically, all of the places in this area are the same.
When you say in this area, you mean Old Village or Char Hollow Market?
Char Hollow Market area.
Okay. Notable factions. So notable factions here in Char Hollow. There are the Vultures, which is an up-and-coming gang of thugs. The Lost, a group of street toughs and ex-soldiers dedicated to protecting the downtrodden and the hopeless.
Oh.
And the Ink Rakes, journalists, muckrakers, and news publishers of Duskfall, willing to do whatever it takes to sell a story.
Ooh, we could manipulate them easily.
Yeah, that seems like a good.
Well, I mean, we might as well start small. We could always expand, but let's take advantage of the 4. Let's do it.
Okay, so your hunting ground will be the Old Village.
Sure, why not?
All right.
I mean, we still have some distance with it being over the bridge.
So for the purposes of this, I'm going to kind of draw poorly around in this kind of weird gray color, which looks really fucking terrible on a gray map.
Use red.
Now I can't because it's, hold on. Draw shape, freehand. Yes, I will in fact use red now. I'll use like a dark, like this. No, that's a fucking terrible color. Fuck it. I'm going fucking neon.
Oh, jeez.
Oh no.
How steampunk and Victorian of you.
There weren't enough shades of brown.
So yeah, I'm going to be hanging out at Roast Meat Alley a lot. I can already tell.
Okay, so you've got your starting place. You've got your your area that you hunt in. The next thing, and this is kind of what I was getting to when you had mentioned about paying rent. So in this current area, the primary factions would be, again, the Vultures, the Lost, and the Ink Rakes. So you've got a couple options here on how you want to deal with them. You've got, we'll say, you can pick which one of those that you want to deal with, and there are 3 options here. You can pay them off. You give them 1 coin in exchange for giving you room to work. So, in other words, you're basically, as long as you're working in this area, members of this particular faction are not going to, they'll give you a pass.
Right.
2, you can pay the faction 2 coin as a show of respect and gain +1 status with them, which means that you can rely on them for some small favors, for some assistance, as a contact, basically. Or you can keep your money and take -1 with the faction, which means if they see you, they can cause trouble.
So this is in Old Village or where we live?
In Old Village.
So all 3 of them are active in Old Village?
Well, this is what I was saying is I will let you choose which of the ones that you are going to interface with like this.
So the other 2 will just kind of be neutral, but the one faction will have issue with us.
Or not.
Or not,
yeah.
depending on how we pay them, yeah.
Well, I mean, I think we could. What was the one? The muckrakers or the journalists?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones we want to pay off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we could. They could be beneficial to have as friends.
So you're going to pay. What are you going to do? You have to. So you start. The crew starts with 2 coin.
1 coin?
2 coin.
No, I'm saying pay them 1 coin.
So we can pay them half of what we have, and we can get the free pass, or we can pay them 2, and they're like, yeah, let's just do the 1 for now. We can always change that, right?
Yeah, we're still in the character creation session, as it were. So if you think about it and you're like, no, I don't really want to deal with this, or be like, give me my money.
Yeah, I think. What do y'all think? We should start with 1 or go all in?
I
with
think
2?
so. Just the
Yeah.
1 for now.
Just to see.
Okay, then I'm going to.
When we have 3 or 4, then we can pay him 2, and then we can really get some.
All players. And then I'm going to add all of you for the purpose of this. Save. You'll notice now that there is a new thing in there called factions. Which is so you are now with the ink rakes.
I think mine's not loading.
It may not be, but mine's not loading yet either.
Okay. Just want to make sure I wasn't.
And we'll say so. When you acquire turf, you also get to expand the size of your hunting grounds and what you get out of it. So you'll notice that on your crew sheet, there's the middle thing that says lair, turf, cloister, Weisten, blah, 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 blah. Each of those can be gotten through a score, which will in turn allow you to get special things for your crew.
Nice.
So you also have special abilities for your crew.
Okay.
You get to pick 1.
My fucking neighbors. God damn.
That's
I
actually
can hear him
a
too.
car. That's a car.
Yeah.
So
Well, I meant neighbors, meaning all the fuckheads that live around us.
here are the upgrades that you get as a member of your cult. You get to choose 1. Cult rigging, you get 2 free load of document or implement items. So for an example, you could carry a profane book of curses or a demon's hand, and it doesn't make you increase your load. You have a ritual sanctum in your lair, which counts as a sacred and arcane workshop for occult practices and rituals.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
All of your adepts are elite. All of your cohorts with the adepts type get +1 dice to quality rolls for adept-related actions. All of your thugs are elite. All of your cohorts with the thug type get +1 dice to their quality rolls for thug-related reactions.
I'm still leaning on having the ritual sanctum.
The final one is ordained. All player characters get +1 to your trauma boxes. Oh, excuse me, you can't have that. That requires multiple upgrades. Never mind. Forget that one.
We don't have any
You said it. You
right
said
now,
it. We can have it. You said it. I
We
have
don't
it
have any
recorded.
adepts or thugs right now, do we?
We don't have to have what?
We don't have any adepts or thugs right
Oh,
now.
no.
Yet.
No, not yet.
So
But
what-
you, but
Adepts would make more
that's
sense
like
later.
that's like the next thing we're about to talk about. So,
Okay.
so just to give you a kind of a general idea on how this could possibly be intuited. Both the ones for adepts and thugs basically gives them additional dice pools for if you need them to do anything, which is exceedingly handy because it means that your dice pools are not. It doesn't take a whole lot in this game to suffer horrific consequences. So having additional dice pools available is always handy.
And what was the benefit of the second one?
Ritual Sanctum and Lair. This counts as a sacred and arcane workshop for occult practices and rituals. So think about this as if you need a place to perform a ritual to your god for summoning whatever. You don't now have to go looking for a place that is already sacred.
That seems like that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a cult, a place of worship seems like a priority.
My vote.
So say so, you all.
Sure.
Cool.
Sure.
Okay. You now get to select 2 upgrades to your crew. So things like crew upgrades. Where are the? Why is this not wide enough and it's making it look like special abilities? None of those are what I'm looking for here, motherfucker.
I think page 94.
It's page 95 is actually where.
I see. Okay.
Where the crew upgrades are. So you've got things like a boathouse. So you have a boat.
Amber,
dock
Dad has the PDF
Okay.
open, so don't
Yeah.
worry about it. You're not missing anything. She's looking like, what?
Crew upgrades. So you have a boat, a dock on a waterway, and a small shack to store boating supplies. Carriage house. You have a carriage, 2 goats to pull it, and a stable, which allows you to move things around the city. You can choose to have a cohort. Cohort is a gang or a single expert NPC who works for your crew. You can have a hidden lair. Your lair has a secret location and is disguised to hide it from view. If your lair is discovered, your 2 timed activities can be used to move your lair and hide it. Mastery. Your crew has access to master level training. You may advance to your player character's actions ratings to 4.
Looks like that one needs multiple.
Yeah, but you need 4 upgrade boxes
Yeah.
to check that one. Quarters. Your lair includes living quarters for the crew. Otherwise, you have to find someplace else to sleep. Secure lair. You've set booby traps for your lair to make it more secure. A vault. Your lair has a secure vault, increasing your storage capacity for coin to 8.
Ooh, workshop.
I like workshop. That one looks like a good one.
Okay.
How
So
many
then-
do we get?
But I was also like, what about quarters then?
Well, how many do we get?
We
7?
He said 2.
15?
Dos.
Dose?
Quarters and workshop, I think, are.
I was thinking quarters and vault.
Well, for right now, I mean, that's something we can. I'm assuming this is all stuff we can add to and upgrade as we get points along the way. So for
Okay.
right
Yeah.
now, we just need the bare minimum. And quarters,
We only have one
obviously, we need to sleep. And the workshop will just give us a good starting point. We can add the vault later.
Okay. So we're choosing quarters and vault, or
Yeah,
quarters
I
and
also-
workshop.
I like the hidden layer thing, but we can do that one later too.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay. That doesn't make any sense to me. So you get to choose 2 contacts now. You get. Choose a favorite contact. Take a list of the particular contacts on your crew street. which would be right here.
We need a contact in the market, probably.
Well, take a look at the potential list of contacts on the cruise sheet. Choose one contact who is a close friend, longtime ally, or a partner in crime.
I'm thinking about. Oh, sorry.
As I say, you will end up with one faction who is friendly with this person, which you will get +1 status with. There's going to be someone who hates this person, who knows that you're a friend with them, and you'll get -1 status with.
I was thinking.
Go ahead, Amber.
I was thinking either Attican or Moria.
See, I was kind of thinking Hutchins because we may need to come across like artifacts or relics, or that was the first one that I kind of honed in on. But you're right. I mean, having another occultist or spiritual person to rely on is also very good.
What is a spirit trafficker?
So, if you remember at the beginning, I told you that the dead or the ghosts are now walking among the living. The dead are also among some groups, are a, shall we say, commodity to be exploited. Whether that's from somebody who's just trying to do like a medium style thing and wants to call up your great Aunt Edna so you can ask her where the hell the money she stashed under the mattress is, or attempting to procure the spirit of the guy who kidnapped your kid so you can be like, what the fuck did you do with my kid, or so on and so forth. So there are groups that definitely traffic in the dead.
Okay.
And in assorted, body parts, things like that. The flip side of that is, as in real life, grave robbing and desecration of spirits tends to have people who are not a big fan of that. So that does cause problems for you if you get caught doing it.
No, I just figured, depending on what exactly that role is, that might be beneficial to us. But I'll see what everyone else thinks.
Well, we're just picking one that's important to us.
So yes, you'll pick one contact, and they're kind of your first contact.
Okay, so we can curry favor with some of these other people later.
Yeah, and of course through gameplay and through everything else, you can find people, you can buy access to people, etc., so on and so forth. This is just your starter.
Well, if we're all about artifacts and such, Hutchins might be a good one.
That's what Pixie said too.
So, is Hutchins your chosen contact?
Yeah, that works for me. I mean, storyline.
Okay.
Everyone but the noble kind of work.
Yeah, that's what made it hard. It was like, well, guy can go away, but the rest would all be really good contacts.
So, here's how this will kind of affect. Here are your local faction changes. Because you've chosen Hutchins, you have. Now I've got so many tabs open now. I'm like, where is everybody? With Hutchins on board, you're going to gain +1 rep with the ink rakes.
That's cool. Nice.
Because obviously they also want to know where all the good shit is. On the flip side of that, because Hutchins has had a nasty problem with helping himself to artifacts that maybe aren't entirely his, or has been found in possession of that, your local, the Lost, the group of Street Tuts and ex-soldiers dedicated to protecting the downtrodden and hopeless, they're less than thrilled with him, which means they're kind of also less than thrilled with you.
That's okay.
We were probably going to piss them off at some point anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as possible.
Our first targets.
Yeah.
So, at this point, okay, so the crew's done. So we are done with that. Now it's on to the individuals. So, characters. Here are the different books. So they call them playbooks, because anybody can do anything, which is kind of nice. You just specialize in some certain things. So here are the playbooks. One is Cutter. Cutters are good at winning fights, using violence, intimidation. Your kind of, if we were going to use kind of an example of a type of character, kind of you think your fighter or your barbarian or your knight or paladin for
Brawler.
D&D. Yeah. Hounds are good at tracking things down and also long distance combat. Hounds are rangers, basically. To use, I hate to keep defaulting back to D&D.
No, but in all honesty, someone like me that linking that reference does make it easier to understand. So.
Yeah, hounds are good at tracking. Hounds are good at long distance combat.
Okay.
You can play a leech. Leeches are good at using alchemy and wrecking stuff with sabotage. Play a leech if you want to be creative with weird tools. So like an alchemist, a tinkerer. A lurk. Lurks are good at sneaking around and breaking into places. So you're a rogue. Slide. Slides are good at social situations and subterfuge. Play a slide if you want to manipulate and deceive people. Spider. Spiders are good at masterminding maneuvers. Play a spider if you want to assist teammates and deal with other factions. Spider is kind of the one that's maybe a little more difficult because it is a lot more about manipulating kind of bigger picture things to work for you.
Like a strategist?
Yeah.
Okay.
The final is Whisper. Whispers are good at magical stuff and dealing with ghosts. Play a Whisper if you're looking to meddle with arcane powers.
I'm kind of thinking of either Whisperer or the Alchemist one. I'm forgetting the name of the Alchemist one already.
Leech.
Yeah, the Leech.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll do Whisperer.
So, Amber, does anybody else want to play a Whisperer?
Yeah,
I mean-
what's the leech one more time? Sorry.
Leeches are good at using
Just
alchemy and wrecking stuff with sabotage. Play a
With sabotage.
leech if you want to be creative with weird tools.
See, that's my problem. I don't think I'd be that good at it.
Now, there are, when you get down into it, like for instance, just using the Cutter playbook, there are also some starting builds that kind of give you kind of allow you to have a little better idea on what it would be. Like starting build Captain, Thug, Terror, Devil Hunter. For Hound, Bounty Hunter, Ranger, Sniper, Veteran. Kind of the things that, like, because you're good, and obviously you can make your character however you want. But like with a leech can technically be a physicker. They can be the doctor for the team. You could be a sapper, so you'd be more about blowing things up. There is a subclass called Viper for Leech, which actually makes you venomous. And of course, you could be a witch.
I like the idea of the witch thing.
A witch wouldn't be a whisper?
So under whisper, the starting builds, they have a summoner, cultist, channeler, and dark scholar.
What is Dark
what?
Scholar?
So in this game, a witch is more like an alchemist, and they do the potions and not necessarily the magic side of. Okay.
Right on.
And I know it's probably not the proper term, but is there the ability to kind of cross class, like to be a witch but be able to heal the team and know?
Okay, so when I say that, when I use witch, those are kind of starting builds.
Right,
As we go
right.
through the actual character creation part of it, like you'll get to pick what you want out of the.
Okay, so like you might pick some things that are side with witch, but some things that side with this, and eventually it just kind of molds.
Right, and then that's
Okay.
the character you'll play.
Okay.
I still want to know what that dark scholar is too.
Yeah.
Dark scholar.
Scholar.
Oh.
Oh, I thought you said scholar, like a skull, like the bones in your
I don't know.
head.
She has some accents sometimes.
I
So
thought Knox said dark scholar.
oh
Dark
Context.
scholar.
Context.
scholar.
Got it.
Um,
Oh, that's perfect. Was that the leech?
that is
Under
whisper.
whisper.
Oh my god. Okay, Amber's gonna be a whisper.
Okay, so is everybody cool with Amber being whisper, or is there anybody else who wants to be a whisper?
And I
That's
think I'm gonna take leech.
All right.
Okay. So then we're going to.
I'm gonna predict she might go summoner.
I think I'm gonna do like a mix of Summoner and Dark Scholar.
We're gonna go over
Yeah.
the individual character creation here in just a second, because
Okay.
and everybody kind of needs to be here for that, because there's things that overlap and allows you to kind of figure out what your character needs to
Right,
do.
so we can kind of optimize our team
Yeah.
formation.
Think of
Okay,
it like
so-
well, you're too young to remember watching it, but the A team. Like everybody in the A team kind of had their own specialization that when they all came together, like the Transformers, they could get shit done.
The A team. Nice.
I pity the fool.
We're the X
Pity
team.
the fool.
Okay, so Amber's going to be a whisper. Pix, what did you say? What did you think you were gonna go with?
Leech.
Why did it do that for? Okay, hold on. Character sheet. Character mode. That's so weird. Okay. Whatever.
Already the stuff is getting weird, huh? That's what happens when you roll with Slade's babes.
Useless is the A team if they worship the Dark Lord Cthulhu.
That's right. X team.
Very true, useless.
Okay, I'm gonna delete your character sheet, Amber, because I think something has glitched badly, because it's not
Okay.
allowing you to select your. So just 1 second. Delete item. Yes, I'm gonna delete this character. I'm going to recreate this character like right now. Character. Amber. In players journal. All players can be edited by. Amber. Save changes. Character sheet. You did want whisper, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Scott, what are you thinking?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of them sound good. I was just kind of waiting to see what role kind of needed to be filled. Is it? I'm thinking, of course, of the Trinity. I don't know if this game requires the Trinity or not. You know what I mean? Like we've already got 2 people that are going to be using kind of like magic, if you will. So then I was thinking, well, then we need like a cutter, or we need a hound, or you know what I mean, something different.
So again, because you guys are defining your own scores to a certain extent. Like it's not like D&D where
Okay.
you need to we need a healer, we need a tank, and then we need some range DPS, we need some melee. It's
Yeah,
not
that's
like
what I meant by the Trinity. So if we don't need to worry about that.
no, play what you want.
Hmm.
Because you're going to figure out as you play this game, you're going to figure out how to make it work. Because you guys have more narrative ability than in any other game, and when we get into that, you'll see how that works.
Well, would we benefit from having a spider in our group?
Um,
I
Especially
think
if we're working
anything.
with the paper with the publications that.
So, do you want a little more information about the spider?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, I don't have those pages in my book. Too bad.
I'll be a druid.
Spiders.
Damn it.
Underworld may appear to be on the surface to be a chaotic array of warring factions and bloody deeds, but it has order to those who are able to see it. When you play a spider, you earn XP when you address a challenge with calculation or conspiracy. BT dubs, you earn additional XP when you play to your character's strengths. Reach out to contacts, friends, and associates to set up your crew for success. Use your downtime activities and flashbacks wisely to prepare for trouble and to calculate the angles for success. Going through. It is very, very much a support kind of play style from what I'm seeing from the playbook. Making contacts, talking your way through things. When something happens, using your abilities to flash back and be like, no, I already planned for this type of eventuality, and being able to put things in places where you can make the best use of them, or manipulate people into being in situations where they should be. I'm trying to think of a character that would be. Okay, so here's a great example of character. If you want to think of a type of character that would be kind of would be a spider in recent media, the Kingpin in the MCU is almost certainly a spider.
Yeah, I was just thinking if we're going to have to deal with different factions and we're trying to expand and recruit people, that having a spider in our group might be beneficial.
Oh, definitely.
I was also trying to think how that practically applies itself in the game, but I'm game to give it a try.
Okay, so. And again, changing books is not a big deal. Which leaves you, dear Zack.
Oh, I think I'm going to be a hound ghost hunter.
So you're going to go with a hound? Okay.
I think so.
Nice.
Oh, you already done it.
Go find us some cheese.
Cheese.
Okay, so now we're going to, everybody needs to choose their heritage. On your sheet, you'll notice that there's a place for heritage. I'm going to give you
Tiger Rose.
I'm going to give you a very, very brief description of these places.
That's what I know. I want Tiger Rose.
Akoros is the largest and most industrial land in the Imperium. They're home to the capital city as well as Duskwall itself. Known as a diverse conglomeration of cultures that have grown together in close proximity for centuries, kind of like Europe. If you want to be a rootless wanderer, you can be from the Dagger Isles. People there often grow up on ships and travel a lot before settling down. They're known as corsairs and merchants who live without lightning barriers, dealing with spirits in other ways. If you want to be from a culture considered foreign by the locals, you could be from Aruvia, a rich and powerful desert kingdom far to the south. It's another diverse land of varying cultures similar to old Persia, Egypt, and India. If you want to be from a place considered wild by the rest of the Empire, you could be from Severos. Outside the few imperial settlements, most Savrosi live in nomadic horse tribes scattered across the blasted Deathlands, surviving within the ruins of ancient arcane fortresses which still repel spirits. If you want to be from a marginalized people, you could be Skloven, the island kingdom just across the sea from Duskfall. Skloven was last to be brought under imperial rule over the course of a 36-year war. Many Sklovlanders lost their homes and jobs in the destruction of the war, and they've come to Duskfall seeking new opportunities. If you want to be weird, you can be from Tychros. It's a semi-mythical place far away from the northern Void Sea. Everyone says that the people there are part demon. If you choose a Tychosary heritage, also create a demonic telltale that marks your character.
Nice.
Sounds pretty cool.
Let's all be from there.
Right? Hey, I'm down.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
We're like the family of demons, but we're really not demons, but we really are.
Mm-hmm. It's the
So-
secret.
Are you all going to be from Tychros? I don't have a problem with it.
Sure.
Okay, let's
Sounds
go.
good.
Let's
Okay.
be weird.
Then the question is what are your demonic telltales?
Red eyes. Or is that too obvious?
I want a tail.
Zack's tail is his telltale.
Telltale tales.
Hmm.
So here are some examples of things that other people in the community have come up with. Fingernails like jeweled beetle shells.
Ooh.
Constantly growing rat teeth that have to be ground down.
Pain in the ass.
Smoke leaking from corners of the eyes. Shadow moves slightly independently.
Ooh.
Raven feathers for hair. Shark eyes and teeth. Someone said it appears as if there's fire burning underneath the skin. Smells of gunpowder and soot.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Spots on their body where they're scaled like a snake.
I might do that one.
The transparent skin. Having a mouth that extends literally ear to ear.
But we're not going for subtle.
We're part demon.
Well, I was just wondering if it's like a thing that's hidden, like you're not obvious about it, or if it's obvious.
I mean,
It
So-
seems obvious.
yeah, I was gonna say so far, from what I am reading, it seems like that is the people who are Tychorsian. I can't even pronounce this. Tychorosi. It's not subtle usually. It manifests as being a very a big deal. Now, some people on there again going with things like.
I want mini dragon wings. Like just the little cute ones, and they'll sprout out from my shoulder blades.
So so then the question is so when you buy clothes, do you cut holes in your clothes so that way your wings are
Mm-hmm.
out, or do you hide them underneath of your clothes or your cloak?
Nah, I mean, like if I have a cloak for leaving, I could have the option of covering up, but for the most part, I'm open about. I'd be open about it, and then fuck it. Be scared, people. I'm part dragon.
That's all right. We're a cult. Or demon.
Okay,
I think I'm
so
just gonna have green scales.
Ooh, that's cool. Just one part of the body or all over?
At my joints.
Ooh, very cool.
So you said you wanted to have like tiny wings at your shoulders.
Well, I guess the top of the shoulders is better. I was thinking like at the shoulder blades, but yeah, probably just like at the shoulder points.
With the ability of supersonic flight.
They're baby wings.
Amber, you said you wanted scales at your joints.
Hmm.
What kind of scales?
Green snake scales.
What kind of green? Like dark green, jade green, neon
Seafoam.
green?
Kind of like an emerald.
Okay.
Seafoam.
Because I kind of already have a character in mind.
Okay.
You watch by next week, she'll have all our characters sketched. It'll be great.
I already
Skot.
have an image.
So you're going with the red irises with dark beetle shell fingernails, Scott?
Yes.
All right. Zach.
Got his nails did.
I wanted a tail, but
Do it.
You can have
as a hound, I get a hunting pet. What kind of pet do I get?
Well, that's a little further down. This is a physical trait of yours.
Oh, okay. No, I just want to kind of
Forked tongue.
I'll have a pet. Yeah.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
a good
yeah,
one.
forked tongue.
Mm.
If you used to like sense, the area around you, it makes you a better hunter.
So is that what we're going with? Forked tongue?
Sure.
We all need horns, family horns.
Yes.
My horns. That's awesome. All right. So
We're the.
We could all take the assumed last name, the Horns. We'll be Horns.
That'll
So
be the name of our cult.
the next one
The
is
horny cult. Never mind, I didn't say that.
Grown.
choosing your background.
Okay.
Your character's background describes what they did before they joined the crew. So here are some options here. Academic, labor, law, trade, military, noble, or underworld. As an academic, you'd be a scholar, a professor, or student from Duskfall Academy, a philosopher, or a journalist. Labor, servant, factory worker, coach driver, docker, sailor, railjack, a stevedore for the North Hook Company. By the way, did you know that is an actual job that still exists in the world today?
Stevedore?
Yeah.
Or like on cruise ships or something?
Yeah. So they're generally considered like a longshoreman and a stevedore are basically considered the same thing. But if you're a stevedore, you own your equipment. Law, advocate or barrister, bluecoat or inspector, or even possibly a spirit warden. Prison guard from Iron Hook. Trade, shopkeeper, merchant, skilled craftsperson, shipping agent. In the military, Imperial or Skovlander soldier, mercenary, intelligence operative, strategist, training instructor. Noble, a dilettante, a courtier, scion of a fallen house. Underworld, street urchin, gang member, young thug, or other outcast who grew up on the streets. So, Zach, what are you thinking?
Underworld. I already filled it out.
What do you...
Oh,
Okay,
wait, we're supposed to be filling this out.
Well, I'm filling it out because I have the book in front of me. I can see it.
Right.
Okay.
Pix, what are you thinking?
I kind of like the idea of being a merchant, having a merchant in the group.
So a tradeswoman.
Kind of. If I could deal in like my own potions and occult items and things like that.
Think of this as your background, like what you did before you turned to a
Oh,
legend.
before. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay, okay. Sorry. Yeah, I'll be a merchant.
Somebody's got to be a stevedore, Amber.
Scott, what are you gonna be?
Military strategist.
Okay. And Amber, what would you have done before you chose a life of
I
crime.
kind of think they would be underworld.
Nothing wrong with having always been a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
So, your particular playbook begins with 3 dots already placed. You'll see those on the right.
I'm apparently a very good consort.
Makes 2 games in which you've done that.
Oh, okay. So
Gotta keep
2
it
in
real.
Tinker and 1 in Rec. Okay.
So, here is the instructions for this. Put 1 dot in any action you feel reflects your character's heritage. So, as you are all Tykeros, what do you think would have been appropriate for a person who at some point lived in a place which is fairly hostile, it sounds like, and then made their way away from that? And then attempted to make...
A lot of these seem like they would make sense.
We're looking under a resolve.
You get 1 point under any of the above, as long as you believe it makes sense and reflects your character's heritage.
So, do you have access to descriptions of all of these? Because
If
I'm
you
assuming-
hover over each word, a tiny description pops up.
Oh, cool.
So if you hover over
Oh.
sway, consort,
Okay,
command, it has a.
Okay, cool. So this is our heritage, not our background.
Correct.
Survey, finesse, prowl, skirmish. A lot of
I
these.
kind of
make
think
sense.
prowl.
Now keep in mind that what one of you interprets as being appropriate to your heritage might not necessarily have been how the other one was brought up. And again,
Right.
this is part of where you're creating your own narrative. Who is the character that you were? What kind of person were they back in those islands? What would have been the type of thing that would have been useful to them to get out of a situation or into
I think my character would be under attune.
Now you can only have 2 points in anything as of the beginning.
Oh, okay.
So like you've already got 2 points in attune, sometimes sitting on your page for whatever reason.
I'm thinking sway.
I was thinking of that one too. And this is are we gonna add another dot that reflects our background?
Yes, so to give you a little bit more here, you'll pick 1 dot in an action that reflects your character's background, and then you get to assign 2 more dots anywhere you want, but you can only have a maximum rating of 2.
I'm gonna go with survey for my heritage one.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna do consort.
Ooh, okay, wait. I think I'm gonna do actually study for my background. Or my heritage. And then sway for my background.
So it's 1 for each.
So you pick 1 for your background, 1 for your heritage, and then 2 however you want, but you can't have more than 2.
Okay.
Okay,
I
so
guess
one for my background.
To choose command for my background, so I'll just go with that. So Zach has 2 in hunt, I bet.
You guys start out with 2 in hunt.
Pix,
As
you
a-
have 2 in study.
Tinker.
Tinker. Amber has 2 in attune. I have 2 in consort. Just to kind of give the group an idea of what we're good at.
Okay. I think I did it right.
Okay.
You've got 2 in hunt, 2 in rec, 1 in survey, 1 in prowl, and 1 in attune.
So we get 1
Wait.
for our heritage, 1 for background, and then we get 2 more.
Yes.
Okay.
4
And you
total.
can put those 2 anywhere you want, but you can't put them in anything that's already got 2.
So we should have 7 total.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
So here is a question for you. Do you want me to give you guys some better explanations for these different skills, because these are kind of, some of them are a little weird.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So if you're attuned, when you attune, you open your mind to arcane power. You communicate. You might communicate with a ghost. You could try to perceive beyond sight in order to better understand your situation. But surveying might be a better option. When you command, you compel swift obedience. You might intimidate or threaten to get what you want. You might lead a gang in a group action. You could try to order people around to persuade them, but consorting might do you better in that case. When you consort, you socialize with friends and contacts. You might gain access to resources, information, people, or places. You might make a good impression or win somebody over with your charm and style. You might make new friends or connect with your heritage or background. And you could try to manipulate your friends with social pressure. But sway might be better for that one. When you finesse, you employ dexterous manipulation or subtle misdirection. You might pick someone's pocket. You might handle the controls of a vehicle or direct a mount. You might formally duel an opponent with graceful fighting arts. You could try to employ these arts in a chaotic melee, but skirmishing might be a better option in that case. Or you could just try to pick a lock, but tinkering might do you better too. When you hunt, you carefully track a target. You might follow a target or discover their location. You might arrange an ambush. You might attack with precision shooting from a distance. You could try to bring your guns to bear in a melee, but skirmishing might be a better option. When you prowl, you traverse skillfully and quietly. You might sneak past a guard, hide in the shadows, run and leap across rooftops. You might attack someone from hiding with a backstab or a blackjack. You could try to waylay a victim in the midst of battle, but skirmishing might be better. When you skirmish, you entangle a target in close combat so they can't easily escape. You might brawl or wrestle with them, hack and slash. You might seize a position or hold a position in battle. You could try to fight in a formal duel, but finesse might be better for that one. When you study, you gather close information from documents, newspaper, and books. You might do research on an esoteric topic, analyze a person to detect lies or their true feelings. You could try to examine events to understand a pressing situation, but you might be better off surveying in that case. When you survey, you observe the situation and you attempt to anticipate the outcomes. You might spot telltale signs of trouble before it begins. You might uncover opportunities or weaknesses. You might detect a person's motivations or intentions. You could even try to spot a good ambush point, but you might be better with hunting for that. When you sway, you influence, guile, charm, or argument. You might lie convincingly. You might persuade someone to do what you want. You might argue a compelling case that leaves no clear rebuttal. You could even try to trick people into affection or obedience, but consorting or commanding might do you better in those cases. When you tinker, you fiddle with devices and mechanisms. You might create a new gadget or alter an existing one. Pick a lock, crack a safe. You might disable an alarm or trap. You might turn the clockwork devices around the city to your advantage. You could try to use your technical expertise to control a vehicle, but finesse might be better. When you wreck, you unleash savage force. You might smash down a door or a wall. Use an explosive to do the same. Employ chaos and sabotage to create a distraction or overcome an obstacle. You could try to overwhelm an enemy with sheer force in battle, but skirmishing might be better. Many of these options, just to finish off the description, many of these actions overlap with others, and that's by design. As a player, you should be getting to choose which action you roll by saying what your character does. Can you try to wreck someone during a fight? Sure. The GM will tell you the position and effect level of your action and circumstance. Skirmishing might be better, but it also could depend on the situation at hand.
They all look good. Can I have 10 dots?
Well, are we at a pretty decent point for a quick bio break?
I was actually about to say
Cool.
this is a pretty decent place for everybody to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we will finish up character creation.
Cool. Well, awesome for everybody that's been sticking with us, lurking, hanging out. We appreciate it. Gonna take a quick bio break. We'll be back in a few, so stick around. All right, I think we're back, everybody. Had a quick little bio break, and yeah, we're back into the character creation. Okie dokie.
All right, welcome back to our Thursday night tabletop RPG. Tonight we're doing character creation for Blades in the Dark, a Forged in the Dark game system. So we're at the point in character creation now where everybody gets to choose their special ability. So let's go down the list. Amber, since it's alphabetical for me, you have a couple options as a whisper. You can choose Compel. You can attune to the ghost field to force a nearby ghost to appear before you and obey an order you give it. You are not supernaturally terrified by a ghost you summon or attempt to compel, though your allies may be. The GM will tell you if you sense any ghosts nearby. If you don't, you can gather information to attempt to locate one. By default, a ghost wants to satisfy its need for life essence and exact vengeance. When you compel it, you can give it a general or specific command, but the more general it is, like protect me, the more the ghost will interpret it according to its own desires. Your control over the ghost lasts until the command is fulfilled, a day has passed, whichever comes first. You can choose Ghost Mind. You're always aware of supernatural entities in your presence. Take an additional die whenever you gather information about the supernatural by any means. You can choose Iron Will. You are immune to the terror that some supernatural entities inflict on sight. When you make a resistance roll with Resolve, you get an additional dice pool. With this ability, you do not freeze up or flee when confronted by any kind of supernatural entity or strange occult event. You can choose Occultists. You know the secret ways to consort with ancient powers, forgotten gods, or demons. Once you've consorted with one, you get an additional die to command cultists to worship it. Consorting with a given entity may require special preparations or travel to a specific place. The GM will tell you about any of those requirements. You get the bonus die to your command rolls because you can demonstrate a secret knowledge of or influence over the entity when you interact with those cultists.
Ooh, like that one.
You can choose ritual. You can choose ritual. You know the arcane methods to perform sorcery. You can study an occult ritual or create a new one to summon a supernatural effect or being.
Ooh.
You begin with one ritual already learned. Without this special ability, the study and practice of rituals leaves you utterly vulnerable to the powers you supplicate. Such endeavors are not recommended. You may choose strange methods. When you invent or craft a creation with arcane features, you get a +1 level result level to your roll. So if you roll a 1 to a 3, it's a 4 to a 5. If you roll a 4 to a 5, you automatically get a 6. If you roll a 6, you get a crit.
I think I want that one.
This is.
But aren't we both whispers?
Are you both?
No, you're a
whispers?
leech.
Oh, you're right. Okay, my bad. I got all excited about that one power. I was like, ooh, tinkering. Ooh, tinkering. That's me.
You can choose to be a tempest. You can push yourself to do one of the following. Unleash a stroke of lightning as a weapon. Summon a storm in your immediate vicinity. Torrential rain, roaring winds, heavy fog, chilling frost, and snow, etc. When you push yourself to activate this ability, you still get one of your normal benefits of pushing yourself, an additional die pool, +1 effect, if you're making a roll in addition to the special ability. When you unleash lightning as a weapon, the Game Master will describe its effect level and significant collateral damage. If you unleash it in combat against an enemy who's threatening you, you'll still make an action roll in the fight, usually with a tune. When you summon a storm, the GM will describe its effect level. If you're using this power as cover or distraction, it's probably a setup teamwork maneuver using a tune. Or you can choose Warded. You may expend your special armor to resist a supernatural consequence or to push yourself when you contend with or employ arcane forces. When you use this ability, tick the special armor box on your playbook sheet. If you resist a consequence, this ability negates or reduces its severity. If you use this ability to push yourself, you get one of the benefits, an additional dice pool and a +1 to effect, act despite severe harm, but you don't take the 2 stress. And then you get your special armor back at the beginning of downtime.
I think I'm going to do ritual.
Okay.
Because if we're a cult, then I feel like we should just start out with a ritual already. So,
Okay. So, special abilities, ritual. Zack has the book, correct?
Yes.
On page 222, there is the entire section about rituals. Can you go over that with her?
220. Oh, okay. Book page 222, not PDF page. Okay. Okay, I see it.
do I got it there?
No, I mean he's saying after this, like.
Oh, okay.
You know, on the side, I'll go over rituals with you.
Okay. Pix,
Mm-hmm.
you are a leech, correct?
Yes, she is.
God damn.
He knows he loves me.
Okay. Here are your special abilities. You can choose one. Alchemist. When you invent or craft a creation with alchemical features, you get +1 result level to win your roll. A 1 to 3 becomes a 4 to 5, 4 to 5 becomes a 6 becomes a crit. You begin with one special formula already known. You can be an analyst. During downtime, you get 2 ticks to distribute among any long-term plan project involving clocks that involve investigation or learning a new formula or design plan. You can become an artificer. When you invent or craft a creation with spark craft features, you get +1 result level, 1 to 3, 4 to 5. You begin with one special design already known to you. You may choose fortitude. You may expend your special armor to resist a consequence of fatigue, weakness, or chemical effects, or to push yourself when working with technical skill or handling alchemicals. You can choose Ghost Ward. When you wreck an area with arcane substances, ruining it for any other use, it becomes anathema or enticing to spirits. You get to choose. If you make an area anathema to spirits, they will do everything they can to avoid it and will suffer torment if forced inside the area. If you make an area enticing to spirits, they will seek it out and linger in the area and will suffer torment if forced to leave. This effect lasts for several days over an area the size of a small room. Particularly powerful or prepared spirits may roll their quality or arcane magnitude to see how well they're able to resist the effect. You can choose to be a physicker. You can tinker with bones, blood, and bodily humors to treat wounds or stabilize the dying. You may study a malady or corpse. Everyone in your crew, including you, gets +1 die to their healing treatment rolls. Knowledge of anatomy and healing is a rare and esoteric thing in Duskwall. Without this ability, any attempts at treatment are likely to fail or make things worse. You can use this ability to get first aid, rolling tinker, to allow your patient to ignore a harm penalty for an hour or two. So, for example, Skot, you're running along a rooftop and you fall off and break your leg. Pix can roll Physicker and use this and roll Tinker to allow you to ignore the fact that your leg is broken for an hour or two.
Nice.
It's not going to be pretty at the end of that hour or two, but
Right.
Maybe some Percocet.
you can choose to be a saboteur. When you wreck, your work is much quieter than it should be, and the damage is well hidden from casual inspection. You drill holes in things, melt stuff with acid, even use a muffled explosive, and it will all be very quiet and hard to notice. Or you can choose to be venomous. Choose a drug or poison from your bandolier stock to which you have become immune. You can push yourself to secrete it through your skin or saliva or exhale it as a vapor.
Holy hell.
When you push yourself to activate this ability, you still get one of your normal benefits of pushing yourself if you're making a roll in addition to the special type of ability. You choose the type of drug or poison when you get this ability. You may change the drug or poison by completing a long-term project. Only a single drug or poison can be chosen at any time, and you can't become immune to any essences, oils, or other alchemical substances.
boy. Oh,
But if you're looking to
boy.
do that poison ivy thing with a kiss, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
There are too many good ones.
I know.
It looks like you can take them again. Like you get a chance to like pick another one too, because the one I'm picking says you pick it again to pick another of the abilities. Because there's like three to
Veteran
choose.
says can be taken more than once. Choose
Yeah,
a special
yeah.
ability from another source, and I can take, and that can be taken more than once.
Yeah, you can get more than one special ability through leveling your character.
Okay. I'm really, really tied between Physicker and Venomous.
Yeah, Physical would be good for the whole group, but man, Venomous sounds awesome.
It's funny because when I was reading through these playbooks, I was all about Saboteur. The ability to do horribly destructive shit and not have anybody notice until after the damage is done.
True. I just kind of got the impression, I think, didn't you say something earlier, Pix, about healing or something like that?
Yeah,
So that's why I was just thinking of the
Yeah.
particular one, if that's what you were going for. But
yeah, I'll go Physicker. Let's do that.
All right. Your team thanks you.
Which is odd for me. Zach knows I don't ever play healers, so even this little direction for me is new. I'm like, okay, now I'm responsible for other people.
Skot as a spider.
so I'm liking weaving the web. You have an idea of exactly how useful? It seems to me like it's very useful. Am I misinterpreting that?
For those who are at home, you gain +1 dice to consort when you gather information on a target for a score. You also get +1 dice to the engagement roll for that operation. That's actually a really fantastic one for your group, because if you've done the work to look into the score, then it means that you guys have an additional die to attempt to get a really good position when you start the score. So that is an excellent one.
Now I already have 2 in consort, so will that give me 3?
No. That's a modifier. So you gain an additional dice to consort when you gather information on a specific target for a score. So if you're not attempting to consort with somebody about a score, you only get the 2 die.
Yeah, but I meant if I'm actually using weaving the web like for a score, that's basically like +3.
Right, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Let's go with that.
Okay, so you're gonna go with weaving the web.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right.
Is there a place where I put that, or did you do it?
I just ticked it on your character sheet.
Okay.
These character sheets are actually very well laid out.
Mm-hmm.
I see it. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Which leaves you, Zach. What are you thinking?
Ghost Hunter, Mind Link.
Got it. Ticked off.
Be right back.
All right. So now we're going to go back down the list. You get to choose 1 close friend and 1 rival. So.
Is that the Deadly Friends? So 1 goes up, 1 goes down?
Yep. So, Amber, you get to choose one of the following as a close friend. You'll choose another one of them as an enemy.
So I hit the up arrow for a friend and the down arrow for enemy.
Yes. I will give you a description of each of them. Nyrix, a possessor ghost. Perhaps a good source for targets, or perhaps a spirit that has escaped from your service. Skurlock, a vampire. Perhaps a mentor, or perhaps a deadly rival. Satara, a demon. Perhaps your partner in a dark endeavor. An entity you once controlled. Maybe they're seeking vengeance. Quellan, a witch. Perhaps a knowledgeable healer and seer, or a student of yours who left over bad blood. And Flint, a spirit trafficker. Perhaps a good source for unusual arcane supplies? Or maybe he's your rival in the world of the occult.
I think I'm gonna be friends with Sitar and rivals with Flint.
All right. Picks. Choose one for a friend, one for an enemy. Stasia, an apothecary. Perhaps a former scoundrel turned to legitimate alchemical business? Or did they go the other way? Veldrin, a psychonaut. Perhaps an addict too poisoned to ever return to lucid thought? Or perhaps an explorer of psychedelic realms beyond mere mortal experience? Eckerd, a corpse thief. Perhaps a good source of raw materials?
Womp womp.
Jewel, a blood dealer. What other strange clients do they have? And Melista, a priestess. To what forgotten god does Melista give her certain?
Let's be friends with the Psychonaut and piss off Eckerd.
Very fair. Skot,
He's in your.
you already picked.
I have a question though, real fast.
Okay.
My initial thought was to choose Jaren as the friend.
All right. Let me look at the playbook so that way I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious. How is this the type of place where the law, the blue coats are very prevalent, or are they just kind of like a second thought?
So because you can incur heat, much like in a crime movie, and the blue coats do come looking. I mean, the blue coats are an ever-present threat, and they are much more of a threat than, say, the cops are in like Vampire the Masquerade.
Okay.
The cops here are definitely a consideration to be taken.
Then maybe I'll take Jaren as my friend instead of the information broker. I like them both, but oops, how do I? Oh, how do I? Oh, there we go.
Okay. And finally, Zack. I see you have already picked your friends and enemies. Okay. So that leaves, I believe, now we get to do the fun one. You get to choose your vice.
Oh, nice.
Every scoundrel is in thrall to some vice or another, which they indulge to deal with stress. Choose a vice from the list and describe it on the line above with specific details and the name and location of your vice purveyor in the city.
Oh.
For example, you might choose gambling, then write Sprague's dice game, Crow's Foot. You can create a vice purveyor, ask the DM to tell you about a couple likely options for your vice. And there's a bunch of them in the book. The going down the list. Faith, you're dedicated to an unseen power, forgotten god, ancestor, whatever. Gambling, you crave games of chance, betting on sporting events. Luxury, expensive or ostentatious displays of opulence. Obligation, you're devoted to a family, a cause, an organization, a charity. Pleasure, gratification from lovers, food, drink, drugs, art, theater. Stupor, you seek oblivion in the abuse of drugs, drinking to excess, getting beaten to a pulp in the fighting pits. Weird. You experiment with strange essences, consort with rogue spirits, observe bizarre rituals or taboos.
Is that it?
I think all of us perked up at that last one. We're like, whoa,
Yeah.
that sounds good. Yeah, let's
Wow.
do that. Are these supposed to be on the sheet? Am I just missing, or this is just something we write in?
If you look under your heritage, vice/purveyor, it has faith, gambling, luxury, obligation, pleasure, stupor, weird.
at the top of the page by like name, alias. There's
Under
heritage
Heritage
back.
tab.
And
Oh,
right under that,
very tiny. Okay, very, very tiny. Okay, so this is gonna mean looking at the map.
So,
Let's see.
Amber, what did you choose?
I already forgot what half of them meant.
I was trying to find him in the rule book. Where are they in the rule book?
In the book, that particular. So, are you looking for the people or the actual descriptions again?
The descriptions.
The
Yeah.
descriptions are on page 55.
Oh, thank you.
Here, I'll go over them again for you. Faith, you're dedicated to an unseen power, forgotten god, ancestor, etc. Gambling, you crave games of chance, betting on sporting events, etc. Luxury, expensive or ostentatious displays of opulence. Obligation, you're devoted to a family, a cause, an organization, a charity. Pleasure, gratification from lovers, food, drink, drugs, art, theater, etc. Stupor, you seek oblivion in the abuse of drugs, drinking to excess, getting beaten to a pulp in the fighting pits. Weird, you experiment with strange essences, consort with rogue spirits, observe bizarre rituals or taboos.
I think I might go with faith.
We could all just do weird in our own layer, couldn't we?
We could.
So, Amber, you're going with faith?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, then, from these, choose one. Mother Narya, House of the Weeping Lady in the Six Towers.
Ooh.
House of the Weeping Lady.
Yasil, the ruins of the temple to the forgotten gods, Coleridge. Nelasan, the church of the ecstasy of the flesh, Brightstone. Or Lord Penderin, the archive of echoes in Charterfall.
Church of Ecstasy.
Oh my goodness, how far away is that from where we hang out? Like, oh, we all have to go with whatever your character's name is. Back to the service again. Oh my god. I have to drive all the way across town. Oh my god.
Be like the Catholic Church. All kneel and
Yeah.
rise.
Like, we're a
And
bunch of-
kneel.
what are we
and
doing
rise.
here? We're demons.
Pix.
I'll take weird.
Nice.
Okay.
Somebody had to get it. I would have been disappointed in you guys, family.
Man, we are the weirdos.
That's right.
Weird. Hooded proprietor of a half-flooded grotto tavern near the docks. Strange passageways lead to stranger chambers beyond.
Half-flooded grotto. That's where our lair is.
Be a tunnel
Father
straight
Yor-
home.
Father
that's why.
Yorin, House of the Weeping Lady, Six Towers. Salia, in quotations, a spirit of the reconciled which moves from body to body at their whim. Sister Thorn, Deathland scavenger gang at Gaddock Station. Ojik, a Taikurozi rooftop market vendor in Silkshore.
That's one of our people from Tykeros.
Or Arana the Blessed, cultist of a forgotten god, in a barge moored in the night market.
The other Takaros guy. You say he's a merchant?
The rooftop merchant.
Ojak,
Yeah. That's my guy.
Nice.
Well, if I'm going to tinker with stuff, I got to have a connection. Get some good
Yeah.
shit.
Get your connection while you indulge your vice. I mean, why not?
Mm-mm-mm.
Skot,
Stupor.
man, did they actually? Oh, so Martin Gull, the Leaky Bucket Tavern, Crowsfoot. Puck's Ballin, the Harping Monkey Tavern, Night Market. Helene, Silverstag Casino in Silkshore. Lady Frelia, the Emperor's Cask, Bar, White Crown. Averick.
What?
No, you glitched out. You glitched out.
Averick, powder dealer.
Ah.
Looking for an opium den. Give me an opium den.
Roland Varus, the Veil, social club, night market. Madame Teslin, the Red Lamp brothel, Silk Shore. Traven Smoke Shop, Coleridge.
There you go.
Eldrin Pritchard, the Silver Swan pleasure barge in the Brightstone canals. And Jewel Bird and Shine, Cat Crawl Alley.
You glitched out on that last one too. Cat Crawl Alley. What?
In the docks.
I want the smoke one. What was the smoke one?
Traven Smoke Shop in Coleridge.
Jeez, where is that?
So I need to find an image and come up with a good name.
We're going to get names in a second.
Oh, I tried to write it down, but it didn't take it. Is there a place to note which one I chose?
I'm doing it for you.
Oh, thank you.
And Zach.
Weird. The Hooded Proprietor.
Ooh. Or Doomed.
All right. Okay, so now the last thing to talk about is your name, your alias, and your look.
Aww.
Choose a name for your character from the sample list or create your own. If your character uses an alias or nickname in the underworld, you can make a note of it. So, this is a ridiculously huge list of list.
I already know my
Yeah.
character's name. So.
Yes, she's good with this stuff. Yeah. I need a minute.
Okay, so what is your character's name?
Persephone Willow.
You have an
Chose
alias?
Persephone because she's kind of a goddess of death. So yeah.
Do you have an alias?
No.
Okay. Picks.
I'm working on it.
Scott, do you have any ideas?
Memphis.
Memphis.
That's it. Do I have to have a last name? Willow. We're all family, right? I basically took the beginning of Mephistopheles.
So most people in the game do have a last name.
Okay. Come up with something.
Okay. Zach, got a name?
I think so. Aldrich Michter.
Got an alias?
Looking at that now.
Shut the fuck up.
I know.
Neighbors.
Actually. Okay, I think I have a name.
What you got?
Desdemona.
Spell that for me.
Desdemona.
Okay.
Last name Ventress. Ventress.
Nice.
You have an alias.
Desi.
Awesome.
Why the fuck not?
All right.
I'm going to
So-
run into John Smith.
Well, I mean, he was an evil asshole, so that's what you're going for.
I would have gone with John Cena, alias the Unseen. Okay, so character creation is basically done. On the character sheet, you'll notice that you have underneath of your character class, it says what your load is.
Mm-hmm.
During anything, if you click that, you'll notice that you can only highlight one.
Mm.
When you take that, each of those ratings means something. If you're running for 1 to 3 load, you're running light. You're faster, less conspicuous, you blend in with citizens. At 4 to 5 load, you look like a scoundrel. You look like you're ready to cause some trouble. People would notice you for looking like you're about to do something. 6 load, you're slower. You look like you're an operative on the mission. So if you're running around like looking like Cable from the old X-Force comics where you got packs everywhere and fucking 9 guns, yeah, that's heavy. Over that is considered encumbered. It actually affects your ability to move.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So with that, now comes the part where I'm interested to hear what it is. So what's the name of your crew?
The Bloodforged Grimoire.
Ooh.
BFG.
The BFG.
We repping the streets over in Tar Hollow Market, yo.
So do you guys want to be the BFG?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Bloodforged Grimoire.
Yeah, you missed that conversation while.
Oh
while we were
yeah,
on
that
the
was good.
break.
I'm tearing up again.
I found a cult name generator on my phone, and we were going through a bunch. And the one that caught everyone was the Daughters of the Bloodforged Grimoire, but we just shortened it. Just the Bloodforged Grimoire.
I'm waiting for when we start to get noticed. People are like, so what's the Grimoire? And we're like, it's not real, man. It's just a distraction. You fell
It's in the
for it.
box.
It's just a
Yeah.
symbol, man.
We just worship Gwyneth Paltrow's head. Come on. He was in the box.
Ugh. Like her. I still got to come up with a picture. Brr.
I went all out and did something incredibly creative and out of the box.
So, not Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
No.
'Cause
Okay.
that was in the box.
Yes, it was.
So we still have a little bit of time. We can go over what?
I'm just laughing at the BFG.
See, I have my funny moments here and there.
Bloodforged Grimoire. Awesome.
So
Oh, are we?
Here is what we
now,
can do.
I put in our deities, Nyarlathotep as a joke. I mean, is that what we're really going with?
With the what?
I filled that in on our crew sheet.
Oh, on the
Nyarlathotep.
crew sheet. Oh, okay. I was still looking at my stuff.
It says the deity. Does that really matter what deity we choose to worship?
I don't think so.
It's okay.
I mean, it's the god you choose.
What about the features? Choose 2 features. Does that give us a bonus?
It doesn't give you a bonus, but so here is how I would interpret that. If you are looking at the list, if your god is, say, cruel and monstrous, that is something that you as a group are going to be known for worshiping. Like when other players and other factions in the game are talking about you, they're going to be like, it's that one cult that worships that god that's all fucked up. As opposed to if your god is radiant and transcendent.
Oh, we don't want that crap.
Then you might have somebody who's like, oh yes, they're the followers of that blessed being.
No. Alluring and monstrous. Anyway, if that's
Do I
not
hear
important, we don't
I
have
was
to worry
gonna-
about it.
I was going to say, anybody have any complaints about using those features? Alluring and monstrous? Going once? Going twice? Sold.
Yes. For those of you who don't know, Nyarlathotep is from the Cthulhu mythos. He's also known as the Dark Pharaoh.
So, we're at a kind of a junction point where we've got a couple of things that we can choose to do here. We can do a little bit more extrapolation on the systems and kind of discuss how different things work, how roles work, how whatever. Or we could actually do a short score.
I mean, we'll learn about the rolling and all of that if we do a short score, right?
That is indeed true. But the score involves going from kind of discussing the angle on how you're going to do it, doing the score itself, and then downtime. So, like I said, it will be a quick one.
Yeah. But what do you guys think?
I mean, at least give us kind of an outline of the gameplay so we know what we're coming into.
I'm fine with that. I don't know. I know Amber's the one that really hasn't used game systems before, so.
Okay. And so during the process of this, we're going to discuss, we're going to go over how roles work, how clocks work, how things like that.
Cool.
So,
yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So, give me one quick second.
So we're going to hit that ice cream shop down on Summit Street, right? Oh, Swinegate Court. Let's go there. Oh, we have to go to Old Village. Sorry.
Okay. So,
Oh, great. Ban somebody.
Yeah.
It's just spam bots.
Oh, I see it. I see it. Yay. How do you do it? Let me do it.
With you being moderator, if you hover, like, say the last thing that should show up now is Zack. You see where it,
I see Golden Nails post. Oh, you banned him already.
yeah. But during, next to anybody's name,
I'm gonna ban Zack. He's a
yeah,
troll.
you can see if you hover, the circle is a ban, and then there's a timeout, and then there's just delete the message outright without banning. Because
Right.
I'm pretty sure I made both you guys moderators. So if you catch bullshit before I do, you can get rid of it.
Can you make me a moderator?
Let me see. I do it over here.
all right.
There you go.
All right.
So, when I would say it is a dark and stormy evening, but there's no other kind in Duskwall. And to you, it doesn't really matter because you're not out in the rain. You are in your grotto. When you hear a sound, how would you have, if you had people who were looking to contact you or were looking to get you to come out of your lair, would you have some sort of secret chimes? Would you have some sort of contact mechanism? how would you, if somebody was looking for you, how would they find you if you were in your lair?
They have to send 37 ravens.
Could I have, with my tinkering skill, constructed some kind of like doorbell mechanism using a pressure point and some
You
string
pull
to
on,
like a
you-
bell?
Yeah, you pull like on a spider web and it alerts us.
Yeah, absolutely. That is something that would be
Right.
easily, easily doable.
Okay.
So, you hear the tinkling of the chimes of somebody who is outside of your grotto, who is standing on the bridge. So, what do you do? How would you react? Do you as a cult do you often have people who seek out your guidance and who come calling for you, or are you keeping yourselves on the down low? Are you attempting to kind of slide under the radar right now?
We're probably sliding under the radar at this point.
Yeah.
So it's got to be. Wait, who has the social skills? Me and Pix.
I think so. I have prowl as well, so if I wanted to, sneak around the door or the opening and see who it is.
Sure, go for it.
So
Okay.
is that a roll? Is that what are we doing?
Okay, so what are you trying to do? What is the action you are attempting to accomplish?
To basically approach without being seen and ascertain who this is, like from our doorway or whatever our entranceway is, like cloak in the shadows, kind of slide in and get an idea of who's there.
Okay, so yes, I would say that is a prowl. So that is a roll 1d6. Can you just click that? Does that just roll?
So rouse the blood.
Is there? I know, right?
So I'm also going. So here is how rolls work. When you decide that you are going to take an action, you state what you're going to do. You've told me how you're going to do it. You're going to prowl, and then I tell you the position and the effect. So you're right now, from doing this, the position on this, I would say, is controlled. You know where you are. It's your lair. So you have a really good attempt at doing exactly what you want. I would also say that the effect here is going to be fairly standard. You don't have any additional factors that are there beyond, like, sneaking around. It's not going to be better or worse if you do this. It's just going to be one thing.
Yeah.
So you don't get any bonus die for this, unless you're going to push yourself. Are you going to push yourself for additional die?
Nah.
Okay. So you roll 4.
Okay, I see it now.
So in Blades in the Dark, there are basically 4 different ways that a roll goes. If you get a 1 to a 3, you fail with whatever consequences are involved. A 4 and a 5 is considered a success with a consequence. 6 is considered you do it exactly as you planned to do it, no problem whatsoever.
So it was a 4 and I'm using prowl. Do I get an extra, or how's the math on that work?
No, you only get 1 die.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's the number of die for the number of dots.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you sneak up using the other entrance coming out of your grotto, and you see Veldrin. He is swaying slightly in the wind, as it were. His eyes are droopy, and you've almost snuck completely up on him when he says, "Oh, I heard you coming a mile away." And he turns around and gives you a big toothy smile.
Go away, cats. Sorry, they're scratching at my door again.
So, what do you say to him? Do you...
At this point, I just welcome him and and ask, what do I owe the pleasure of this this visit?
He's like, "So, I was down by the silk, and it was just euphoric how high I was getting, and there were some beautiful, beautiful other people there. Somebody who looks kind of like you, not the wings, but has these eyebrows and this hair. It looks like dove's feathers, but they're kind of weird. Like maybe the clothing isn't right. Maybe they're just homeless or a vagrant or fresh off the docks and just not used to the way that we do things around here. But they had a book, and I saw it, and I couldn't help but think of you. But they stumbled off, and I think somebody jumped them and took their book.
Hmm.
And I don't know what happened to them, but I can tell you where they were or where they went. And then you could maybe go find that book. I don't know if it's something worth anything to you, but maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
It sounds worth investigating. I appreciate you stopping by. Let's go inside and have a chat.
So you're gonna invite him in?
Yeah.
Okay, so he descends into the grotto with you, and he is well and truly like, oh shit. Like, this is kind of hashing his vibe. So what? So you tell this to to the group. How do you want to approach this?
I mean, I basically just kind of proposed it the same way Veldrin did, just presenting it as, these people had a book, and it seems like there was some kind of altercation that, maybe this book could be worth looking into if it was so important as to rob it off of its owners.
So,
You guys know you want to go on an adventure.
Let's go.
okay. So, what is the approach that you're going to take to doing this? You already know the location of where the book was last seen, which is right along the river here.
Okay.
So, how are you going to approach this? Are you going to use... Are you going to go there and attempt to scout it out? Are you going to attempt to persuade some of the locals? Is there some other way that you can think of to discern who might be in possession of your book.
That was one of the things about my character. I don't think what kind of pet do I have, or like where does I don't see that. Like it just says you have a pet. So
Under Hound.
yeah. It says it under Ghost Hunter, which is the one it says your pet functions as a cohort expert hunter. This ability gives them the potency against supernatural targets and an arcane ability of your choice. And the one I chose was Mind Link, that allows the pet and the hunter to share their senses and thoughts telepathically.
That's under your items.
Oh. So it's just any animal?
Your animal companion obeys your command and anticipates your action. So
what kind of an animal would be found in these, like in the areas around here? Like what would not be suspicious?
Rats.
you could go with anything from a dog to a hawk to a raven, a rat, I wouldn't think that anything. I mean, you're probably not going to have like a fighting cow or something like that.
No. Something flying would work, like a raven or an eagle or something. Probably not an eagle, but a raven or a crow or something, and that could give us a bird's eye view. And if I can, link with it telepathically, then I can basically, figure out what's out there before we even step foot over there.
Okay, so let's ask some questions. Are you attempting to do this stealthily, or are you being overt with it?
I could do it.
Oh,
I'd probably stealthily. Like we're sitting there. I mean, I can just go ahead and send it out while while everyone's talking. Maybe by the time it comes back, we'll with some information, it'll give us a little bit more information to plan our. Or is that not how? I don't know.
Yeah, no. So generally speaking, what you do is when you're choosing how to start a score, you choose the way you're engaging. This is where the engagement roll comes in. You choose your method, and then you supply the detail of how you're doing it. So in this case, what you're saying is we're going to go to the spot, and I'm going to use my raven to scout the locale. Correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you are not in your hunting ground for this, so there's no bonus to that. Your load. What is the loadout that each of you are choosing? Are you going light load, heavy load, or medium?
Can we make that decision after we get the
I
info?
forgot the remote out there.
No.
So basically, the guy said he overheard someone who lost their book.
Got mugged.
Okay.
Now keep in mind, and this is kind of one of the things. When you do this, when you choose a load, you don't choose what you're taking with you. You just choose the load.
Well, we're really quickly, just to figure out like geography. So I imagine that we would exit at the river and walk our way down to the mouth of the river.
That's.
Well, what I'm asking is is that route less populated, being along the shore? Because that would to me, if I'm running in the middle of the city around people, yeah, light load. But if we're just kind of trudging along on the shore, I'm wondering, is that
I would say that you, because you know the area reasonably well, you would be able to take a route that would facilitate
Okay.
either or. If you wanted to make it to be as quick as you possibly could getting there, you could load for battle. If you wanted to run light, you could. So, because keep in mind, and this is what I was going to say before, the load that you choose does not indicate your gear. It just says how much load you've taken for your gear. In the event that you need any of it, at the time that you need it is when you choose your gear.
Okay.
So are we? I see like a short list of items already on my character. Is that what I have?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll take a normal load.
I'm choosing light.
Okay.
Normal.
Okay. So click that on your character sheets.
What? Okay.
Right under, like, where probably on your page it says
Yep.
whisper. It's right underneath.
Yep. Okay. So with that, you have your base engagement roll, so you get 1 die. You have a advantage. Somebody has already informed you of what's going on. So you currently have 2 die. Does anybody have anything off the top of their head? I want to say, Scott, you had something about your engagement rolls, but I think that was only if you had scouted the score yourself, right?
Well, I would certainly like to know how weaving the web works. It just says you gain 1d to consort when you gather information on a target. You get 1d to engagement roll for the operation. It says your network of underworld connections can always be leveraged to gain insight for a job, even when your contacts aren't aware that they're helping you.
So when you are consorting for looking for information about a target, in advance of the actual score itself, that information that they give you will give you an additional die on an engagement roll.
So is that what's going on now, or is that later?
This would be on another score. Like I said,
Okay.
This is just a quick one because we're...
Okay, well then, I mean, if there's some way I can help, I would also do that, but I'm not sure if that applies.
Okay, so I don't think you can you can press for additional die on the engagement roll. I'm going to double check that really quick. 128.
I mean, consort in general just says consort with connections from your heritage, background, friends, or rivals to gain access to resources, information, people, or places.
Okay, so looking through, no, you cannot. There's no additional. You guys can't push for it for an engagement roll. So here is there a actual dice roll for engagement that we can make? No. Okay. That's a little weird. So then the engagement roll will be 2d6. Okay, so whenever you do a roll, unless you're rolling at a disadvantage, you always take the highest roll. So you roll a 5 for the engagement roll. So you guys leave the grotto. You head stealthily through the back streets. You manage to get to the location where you were told that something here happened. When you get there, there is blood scattered all across the streets. What he told you about that he saw some guy getting mugged, that's probably not what actually happened here. There's a lot of blood.
Mm-hmm.
When you release the raven into the sky, it circles rapidly, goes going back and forth. You can see it. It releases a brief squawk and comes back down to you. And using its beak, it tells you the general direction that the blood trail is leading from, where these people are. But you also think that maybe that when it squawked, if somebody was being followed and might have been paying attention, maybe they would have noticed that. So you think that they're just up the riverbank a little bit away from you. What do you want to do?
Would it be possible to go around a building and like kind of ambush them from the front?
So just to clarify the action that you're thinking about taking here, you want to kind of circle around them, so you're coming in front of them instead of from behind them, with the intention of.
Because if they already know that, if they already have a chance of knowing that we're behind them, if we come in front of them, then they might not be expecting that.
That's very smart.
That's true, but do we, based on what the Raven has done, do we even know who these people are if we come across them?
You would guess, given the amount of blood that is on the ground, that whoever did this is probably also still covered in quite a bit of blood.
All right, well, let's go.
So that action, that sounds like I could be wrong, but that sounds like you're hunting, following a target, discovering their location, and arranging an ambush.
Go, Zack.
What about
have a hunt.
I have Prowl,
I was going to say,
which I
sneaking
could
past-
actually. Well, what I was going to offer up is let the three of them go round, and I'll stay toward the back, hidden, so that if something goes down,
nice.
I can still jump in.
Nice, do it.
Okay, so you can actually execute on two separate plans. So
What?
The pincher move.
It's your move.
So
The three of us are going to go do Persephone's suggestion while Desi comes in behind us all sneaky.
okay, so here's how we're gonna do this.
One caveat though. I'm not jumping in necessarily unless there's immediate danger. I still want to have that element of surprise. Let you guys do your talking, figure out who these people are, give them a chance to like figure out that they probably don't want to talk to us, and then I'll jump in.
So unfortunately, that's not in Blades. What you do is you have to actually do the roll for your action. So you're going to basically be saying, "I'm going to stealth up behind them," and then are you basically going to attempt to basically stay south and
Right.
Okay, so then that is the whole of the action. Anything after that is
Okay.
so you're going to attempt to stealth up and prowl behind them. When you guys say that you are going to hunt around them and set up an ambush, are you actually intending to jump them on this, or are you just intending to confront them?
So the information we have is that someone was mugged and their book was stolen.
But it looked like a really important book.
And we don't even know where the victim is. We just saw a pool of blood.
Correct.
And we're going to confront these blood-soaked people that we think have a book on them.
Okay, why not?
I'm not saying we shouldn't. I'm getting it straight in my head.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of thinking we just jump them and take the damn book.
I'm not the best face-to-face person, but I got your back.
There is always that, lead with diplomacy, finish with, a machete.
All right, well, let's just go see if we can confront them.
Okay, so basically what you guys are going to try to, you're basically doing kind of a reverse mugging, kind of a
Yeah.
stepping out of the shadows in front of them and being like, hey,
What's going on, guys? You partying?
okay, so this is going to be two separate roles. I'm guessing Zack is going to be the one to do the role for this since
Oh,
he's
yeah,
got
because that hunt.
the highest level in hunt. Is that correct? Somebody else doing this?
Oh, I'm sure he does. He's the hunter.
Okay, so here is the other part about that. Is anybody going to? So there are two things you can do here. Does anybody want to push themselves and use a little bit of stress to give him an additional die roll?
Just for us to find them? That's what we're doing, right? We're just trying to cut them off?
Yeah. Okay.
Especially not this early.
Okay. The other option is, and I'll ask this to Zack. Do you want a devil's bargain in order to successfully complete to get an additional die?
What is that?
So a devil's bargain gives you an additional die. What it does is there is usually some other complication that will occur as a result of taking the devil's bargain. That happens regardless of what your roll is.
Right. Okay.
But it does give you an additional die.
I don't think so this time. I think for now we'll just try a normal hunt.
Okay. So I'm going to say this position is risky because you guys don't really know anything about the people who you're attempting to ambush. And again, I'm going to say that the effect here is standard. If you manage to successfully do this, you're going to come out right in front of them and have accomplished what it is. No bonus die. So
I'm trying to move this thing and it moved something and there, whatever.
So Zack rolls a 3, which is going to be an unsuccessful roll. There's going to be a consequence to this. So we'll also now do Pix's roll. You said you are going to prowl up. You're going to prowl up behind them, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you want to push yourself and take 2 stress to gain an additional die?
Nah.
Do you want to take a devil's bargain?
Nah.
Okay. We're going to say that this physician as effect is risky because you don't have as much information and because you're prowling, again, standard. No bonus die?
Ooh.
Okay. So here's what happens because there's no in Blades in the Dark, there's no your rolls count for both sides. So
there's no contesting. It's
right.
Okay.
So Zack, you and Mephis and Persephone, you manage to head up. You were going up through the on the side of the buildings, attempting to make your way into an alleyway in order to be able to pop out and confront them. Unfortunately, the problem is that when you go down into that alleyway, they're already there. They're already in the alleyway. So when you show up, they're like, "How's it going tonight, gents?"
How many are there?
There are 4 of them.
Yay.
On the other hand, however, Desi, you have managed to sneak up behind them. You were quick. You kept to the shadows, moving between stalls, walking right between people. They didn't even know you're there. So you have managed to get in behind them without them even knowing. So now you can see that the other 3 members of your cult are on the other side of the group. And you have effectively now put yourself on behind them. So these are 4 lads. They are not small men. They are definitely these are definitely some thugs who are accustomed to using their muscle to take what they want. So when they find you in the alleyway, they're like, "Sup, gents?" They are covered in blood. It's pretty easy to see exactly that these are the guys you're looking for. One of them is carrying a book in a satchel under his arm. The book wouldn't necessarily be something that would look out of the ordinary. It's got a Leviathan skin case. There's no title on the book or anything like that. What makes it noteworthy is that the book has 3 locks on it. That are, one is central on the book, 2 are on the bottom and top of the book. And even though the guy who was carrying it was obviously beat maybe to death, maybe not, and the guy who's now holding it is covered in quite a bit of blood, the book itself is pristine and spotless.
It's the blood-forged Grimoire.
So
The blood repellent Grimoire.
It sucks it up. Get the power.
So they just basically greet us. They just say, "Hey, gents."
it is pretty obvious that they have evil thoughts and evil intentions in their mind, that they are planning to go for to do a mugging of you, even as you are thinking about doing a mugging. So what is your plan here? What are you going to do now?
Well, I mean, we could give one more chance, one more try to nonviolence, or do we just want to throw down?
These are thugs, man.
I could try command.
We could try. But...
Would command do anything?
How high is your command?
1 uno.
So again, you can push yourself for an additional die. And if anybody there also has command, they can help you and they can push themselves to give you an additional die.
So what does pushing yourself involve? What does that mean?
You get take 2 stress.
And what does that do?
It's like using willpower,
It's like,
basically.
Yeah. So if you look on your character sheet, grabbing yours, Scott. So you'll
under
notice
under
and
Vice, there's a little place
there's
with
these
notches.
things.
Yeah. Oh, fill me up. Give me all red. Do it.
So when you fill up your stress bar, you basically, if it fills up in the middle of a score, you're out for the remainder of the score.
Oh, that sucks.
When you come back, you suffer a trauma. This is an additional thing that you have to act out as part of your character.
Right.
If you suffer 4 traumas, your character is basically retires. Your character is done with the life. They can't hang.
Okay. So that has nothing to do with the vices or anything like that. That's just stress. So how do we relieve stress? Does it just reset every session?
No, through your vices in the downtime.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Does anybody else have command?
I think Persephone
I
does.
do.
You have 1?
Yeah, I have 1.
So does that mean she can help me, or she has to push herself to help me?
No, because she's helping you with the roll, she does have to push herself, and she takes 1 stress.
That's up to you if you want to do that. I'm going to push myself. Why not?
Sure.
Okay, so both of you are going to push yourselves?
Yeah. So what does that give us? 3?
Okay, so you take 2. That will give you an additional 3. Persephone, you also take 1 stress. And then, so you said you're going to command them?
Yeah, I'm basically going to use my military background and just say, that is not your book. We know it's not your book. Give it to us. Something like that.
Okay,
Stand down, give us the book, and go about your business.
So you are going into this with So just to clarify, you were demanding with your authority
Mhm.
that they turn the book over.
Yes.
Okay, so that is, and you guys have input on this. I would say that's a fairly desperate position because they don't really want to do this. That's not something they're going to be inclined to do. That's something that they're going to be very much against doing because that's their loot. I'm also.
I don't know how the whole system works. I'm sure there are some people in this world that just have that kind of presence. You know what I mean? There's that whole concept of, yeah, we're badasses and there's somebody that's bigger than us, so I don't know if it works like that or not.
Well, and that is exactly what you're attempting to do. You were attempting to assert yourself and say,
Yeah.
"That's my fucking book. Give me my book." And again, like I said, that seems like a pretty risky play here because
It's at least risky. Yes, I would say risky for sure. I don't know what the real difference is between risky and desperate.
So
I don't feel desperate, but if that makes more sense.
Okay, so well, this is a good opportunity. In a situation where you have control over it, where you have the obvious advantage, this is something that you in a place then it's a controlled roll. In a situation where it's kind of a 50-50 roll, either way it could go, that's when it's risky. Risky is basically your standard roll.
Okay.
In a desperate situation, what you're attempting to do is something that is not likely to. You're in a position where you're not likely to for it to occur.
And that just basically ups the difficulty of success.
It ups the difficulty of success, and it also kind of is a way of discussing what the likely outcome of it is.
Okay. And then what is the effect thing?
So the effect is how so the easiest way that I saw this described was if you are how you're going to is knocking down a door. If you're attempting to knock down a locked door with your fists, and you're not very strong, you're likely to have a pretty limited effect on a door.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to be something you're going to have a whole lot on. Now, if you walk up to the door and you have, like, say, a sledgehammer or something, you're likely to have a pretty standard effect on the door. You're going to be able, have a decent shot at knocking it down. If you are attempting to knock the door down by blowing on it, you've probably got zero effect.
Wait a minute, we're demons.
On the other hand, if you walk up to the door with,
a grenade?
with a grenade launcher, you're likely to have a pretty extreme effect and be able to knock the door down, no problem.
Got you. Okay, cool. All right, I understand. Thank you.
So,
are we at the engagement roll yet?
You already did the engagement roll.
Oh, okay. I'm still figuring all that stuff out because I want to use my weaving the web, but I guess that won't apply to this one. Okay, go ahead.
Not for this score.
Okay.
So I would also say that your effect is probably going to be reasonably limited as you are demanding something that he's not likely to do. So you might on a really fantastic roll convince them to negotiate with you or to discuss with you what it is, but without a critical, it's unlikely he's going to straight up give you the book.
Yeah, what the hell? Let's give it a shot.
Okay. You also have 2 additional dice from pushing yourself and from Persephone pushing. So he sees you, and you rolled a 6, take the highest roll, so you succeed. The 4 of them are kind of taken aback. You come around the corner and you're like, "That's my book. Give me my book." And they're like, from their perspective, 3 people have just come around the corner and they look strange. Somebody's got some horns. There's some wings involved.
But I can't see her.
Yeah. Maybe somebody has been smoking a little bit tonight,
Flashing
or
her elbow at him. You don't want
Yeah.
none of this daily
You know,
elbow. Give us the
some-
damn book, bitches.
somebody has been, smoking the ganja,
Some
smoking the
elbow up
weed.
in there.
They're
Dap me up, man.
Don't want none of this.
they are seeing things. They're like, whoa, 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 whoa. And the guy is like, dude, sorry. You want the book? Here's the fucking book. And he takes the book and he just drops it.
Nice. Okay.
So, Desi, you have managed to sneak up behind them. You see all of this. From your position, what would you do? Are you going to attempt to do anything? Are you going to stay out of sight? Are you going
Yeah,
to take
I'm
up-
just gonna kind of slide into the shadows so that they don't like turn and bump into me. I'm just staying close enough to hear and see everything, but just kind of out of the way. If they're gonna move along peacefully, let it fucking happen.
Okay. I'm going to say that, seeing as how they've already given up your target, that they're unlikely to probably hassle you more. Mephis's authority has kind of neutered them a little
They
bit.
respect his authority.
So they kind of slide past you, leaving the book on the ground. So it is now the four of you in the alleyway with this tome.
Well, let's grab it. It's just the book, or is it in the satchel?
No, it's just the book. He did not, unfortunately, leave the satchel to
That's
go.
fine. Let's grab the book and.
I'm pretty sure one of us has a satchel or
I
bag
was
or
just
something.
curious if he dropped it in the satchel or not.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter to me one way or the other. Grab the book. Where's the guy who mentioned this to us? Is he back at our lair?
I imagine he would have come out with this. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not in the habit of leaving random strangers in our
Not
home.
if they want to survive. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that he went back to doing whatever drugs that he was involved
He
in.
followed the fairies home.
So the
Yeah.
idea now is we picked up this book, and we either decide if it's useful to us or if we want to try to sell it back to its owner for money.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly
If the owner is even still alive.
Yeah.
Well, and that is going to be something that is going to be difficult for you, as this book is locked tight.
Oh.
So we gotta get some lock picking up in here.
Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you want to go back to the scene of the crime and see if we can find out who it belonged to, or do you want to just say this is our book now and see what we can do with it?
We never found a body, did we?
Yeah, I mean, considering how much blood was there, I'm not sure it's worth it. Might
Hey, I'm
just
all
Probably
for
take it back.
trying to figure out the secrets of the book and use them to our own advantage.
Yeah, I say we just figure out what the book is. Like you said, if we can figure out who the owner is and any history, reaching out to some of our contacts.
Do
with,
we
like,
want to try
relics
and
and stuff.
find the body? Maybe there's a key on it.
Oh, that's a good point. All right, let's go back to the scene of the crime. What the
I
hell?
mean,
That
I
hurt.
guess we can investigate blood splatter.
Okay, so you guys are going to head back to the blood splatter, and you are going to attempt to use the blood splatter to attempt to discern the owner of the blood. Correct?
I mean,
Or
are
if there's a
are
blood.
there people around? I mean,
It was in an alley, so no, not really.
uh,
So
we can just like do a search for the body. What the hell? Did they disintegrate it?
So I would say that this is probably either a study situation or a survey situation.
Yep.
Study, you scrutinize detail and interpret evidence. Survey, you observe the situation and attempt to anticipate outcomes.
All right. Who's got what? I have one in each.
I got one in
I have
study.
one in study.
Got one in survey.
All right. So how
I
do we
say we
handle
take
that? What if
I say we
want to
take
do
the
like a
three of
three-
us.
3 have studied, so
We can all back each other.
Is that how it works? Not.
So if you do that, you can do the one roll. So whoever has that, and then if the people who also have rolls in it, they can take one stress each. To
I'll do it.
I'll do it.
So who's the main roller on this one?
Oh wait, yeah.
Well, we each
Who
have
has-
one, yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 now because the main roller is going to get 2 stress if they want an extra die, right?
I think she was just talking about the study level. Everyone has
So-
one. All of you have
Yeah,
one.
none of us. It does not going to make
Yeah,
any difference.
it's not going to matter.
All that's going to matter is the stress.
Okay, so one thing I just looked up. Only one person can help, so you can only get +1 die.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Aw, poop.
So who
So
has
you
more
can-
stress right now, though?
Me. I have 2.
And I guess only one roll can happen. So like not like 2 people can study and 2 people can survey. Like they only
No, one person. So if you're gonna do that, you can do whoever.
I have
I have
no-
one stress.
I have no stress. So how would we work that I take the stress? 'Cause
So
they
if-
both have stress.
Okay, so here's the first thing. Who is rolling for what?
I think Desi should roll, and if they're going to use their stress, which would give them 2, and I would give them some of my stress, which would take away 1. That way we would all be even.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to study the alleyway, correct?
Mhm.
For signs of it. You're going to push yourself, take 2 stress to gain an additional die.
Mhm.
Do you, and then just double checking this before I start making rolls. And then Persephone, you wanted to also take 1 more stress to give an additional roll.
Yes.
That be it.
Okay, so study. I'm going to say that this is actually going to be a fairly controlled environment because you guys have the environment. You guys are standing there and there's nobody else there. I'm going to say it's standard effect. And 2 bonus dice. Okay. So we're going to hold that thought. Zach, you said you also wanted to
survey,
do a survey?
and I'll push myself.
Okay.
Let's all get stressed.
Now we're all even.
Let's get some stress going.
Okay, so you're taking stress. Now, do you also want to gain an additional die and take a devil's bargain?
I could help him with his survey. I didn't help the last roll.
Oh, do you have survey?
Yes, I do. I have Bruno
He has
and
one in
survey.
each. That worked
then-
out.
Then
I'll
you,
take-
yeah,
I'll
if you
take a third
want to take
stress.
an additional stress, then yeah, you
Sure.
can absolutely do that.
Let's do it. I'm the devil. Bargain with me. What you got?
Oh, that's not how that works.
I know. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
So you take 1 more stress and
I'll take 2 stress.
survey again,
Survey says.
controlled, standard, and 2 additional die.
Ooh, a 6.
Ooh.
Okay, so when you here's how this works out. The 3 of you are going through the alley. You're trying to look at the blood spatter patterns. You are examining how what it looks like on the walls, kind of trying to think about what happened, how this homeless guy walked in here, and how he got his ass beat.
I
And
had
you-
that book.
And you think that you have a pretty good idea of how this happened. And as you are in the process of doing this, you get some going on the alley. All of you end up with a little bit of blood on you. When you get to the... Now, we'll leave that there for 1 second. Meanwhile, Zach, you decide you're not even going to deal with the alley. You're going to take the high ground. So you climb up some fire escape stairs real quick, and you are looking around, kind of hopping between the buildings, looking around.
Got the Raven helping.
Yeah. And you are pretty sure that you see that there is a body who is laying on the beach who looks pretty beat to shit. For those of you who are not there, who are on the ground, and you exit out on the street out of the alley, looking in the direction where you think the blood is, which you are correct. The issue is as you exit out, there are a pair of bluecoats who are standing on the street.
I knew it.
They're just patrolling. They're not really looking for trouble per se. But 3 people who come out of an alley who have a little bit of blood on them, that looks a little suspicious. So
what if we just point the blue coats to the body we found, let them deal with that, and we take off with the
We
book?
don't know where the body is, though.
Nope.
It's only Aldrich that knows where the body is.
Wait, the reason we were looking for the body was to see if we could find the key on it. Otherwise, we don't even care. Why do we? I mean, if we're just going to keep the book, we don't care who had it before us.
I'm just wondering if throughout the 4 of us who could get, lockpick the bitch.
Well, we can get it back to our lair and figure that out. But Aldrich, does he have a way to get to the body without being seen by the bluecoats?
That'd be a prowl.
You could theoretically, you could attempt to prowl across and drop down by yourself. You could. I would say you could theoretically hunt, but you're hunting a target that's you already have the location of. So
yeah, it says gather information about its location and movements.
Yeah,
it's not
so
going
you
anywhere.
already kind of managed to get that from it. So I would say that effect would be pretty limited.
I think prowl about unseen and traverse obstacles, climb, swim, run, jump, and tumble.
So I would say yes. Aldrich could probably prowl to it, but what are the other 3 of you going to do?
I mean, are they walking by or are they just hanging out?
They're on patrol, so they're walking towards you.
Well, we could just go the other way.
Exit the other end of the alley.
So basically kind of back would be like, oh shit, and back into the alley and then go down.
Yeah, just basically walk the other direction and head on.
Okay, so just to clarify, is that what everyone is doing?
Mm-hmm.
Aldrich, you're gonna stealth over to the body. Everybody else is going to basically back up through the alleyway and go out the opposite end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't have to roll for this because you're in a fairly controlled position here, and this is a pretty easy one for you guys. Mm-hmm. So for the 3 of you, you basically see the blue coats, and you're like, fuck, cops, and you immediately back into the alleyway and just walk in the opposite direction. And by the time that they even get to the mouth of the alleyway and take a peek in, you're already walking out the opposite end and heading in another direction.
Cool.
Aldrich. It is not difficult. There are maybe some people up there. You see some guy with a spyglass who is watching something out on the on Silk Shore. You see a couple lovers who are making the best of a situation on top of one of the roofs. But otherwise, there's nobody else up here at this time of night. So you are carefully just boom, 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 just able to stealth across the top and drop down near on a fire escape and get near the body. When you come up on the body, this dude is dead.
Take it back to the lair.
If he wasn't dead when he got here, he died of his wounds. Like, these guys put the boots to him. So,
Search your pockets.
Yep. Loot the body.
so you are going to. In another circumstance, this would have been a study, but because you have access, because you're had a controlled situation, you're the only one there. You're able to kind of finally go over him. He doesn't have any keys. He has nothing. Frankly, he doesn't have money. He doesn't have identification. He doesn't have shoelaces, let alone anything else.
The douchebags might have the key.
Yeah.
So
All right.
your searching of this guy's body has turned up nothing.
All right. I guess I'll head back.
So everybody's heading back to the grotto.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. First score done.
Mhm.
So you did not do anything that would have gained you coin, so no coin for this one. On the flip side of that, however, you also didn't do anything to garner anybody's attention.
Mm-hmm.
So no rep or anything like that. What you have garnered, however, is a thrice locked tome.
Well, we'll have to get somebody to tinker on it.
So here are
Like John says, I could shoot the locks off.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just destroy the book while we're trying to open it.
fuck it, burn it. So going down the list, no payoff other than the acquisition of the book because you didn't do anything for any money and you didn't need to get any rep for it. No heat on the other hand either because you guys managed to avoid the cops.
Nice.
So entanglements, we'll deal with that on another one. So now here's where you do your downtime activities. You have a couple things that you can choose to do. You can choose two of these things. You can choose to acquire an asset. You can start a long-term project. You can, if you suffer damage, recover. You can train. Or you can indulge your vice.
Does stress just go away automatically?
Nope,
Or
you have to indulge your vice.
indulge the vice. Okay.
I'll indulge the vice and train.
Okay, so since you were quick to do this, indulging your vice. Your vice was
I know.
faith. So you need to roll a 1d6. Oh, never mind. There's actually there's a button. Indulge vice. You don't have any bonus dice for this.
Ooh,
1.
take the lowest result.
Clear amount of stress equals the highest die result. If the result of your vice roll means you clear more stress levels than you had marked, you overindulge. So I don't know why it did that. Did I not give you one die, bonus die? You should have had one die for... Weakest attribute rating, most enthrall, clear. Okay, so yeah, so you end up clearing one stress for that. And then you also said that you chose to train. So you also get 1 XP. Okay, so downtime. That's your downtime. Memphis, what do you want to do?
Same thing.
Okay, So you are going to indulge and train. So you actually take 2 stress off.
Okay, nice.
And you train, so 1 XP.
So I
Okay.
have a question real quick. Down here, what's this? It says, every time you roll a desperate action, mark XP and that action's
I
attributed.
just saw that too. Because yeah, you rolled a desperate action when you demanded back.
That is true. Yeah. So if you get that, then yeah, you would get an XP for that.
So I get an XP for command
Yeah, for the.
or for resolve. I don't know. How do we indicate XP?
So okay, so see these. So mark XP every time you roll desperate. So playbook. There's a playbook advancement one, which I think if you're training, let me double check that. Oh, so I need to go back and ask a question of you, Persephone. When you trained, did you want to train as a general character, or is there a specific attribute you wanted to train in? Your resolve, your prowess, or your insight?
Ah, that's what those are for. Those are XP.
Okay. I will train an insight.
Okay, so you're going to have to put 1 in insight? Okay, then I will take the 1 off down here. Okay. So if you train, so that's how you increase your stats.
Okay.
Cool.
So if you're training as your playbook, I believe that is like if you want more special abilities.
Wait, would it be possible to train for resolve?
Yeah, we can go back and change that.
Okay. I'll do command then.
Well, I don't think you put a bullet in it yet.
No, you have to fill up all
You
those
fill
bars.
up all of them,
okay.
and then
okay,
you
then,
get one.
resolve.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
yeah, you need 6
So,
XP to
just-
get 1 dot.
You'll put the
Yep.
one there.
So okay, Skot or Memphis, are you going to train in playbook advancement? Or are you going to train in one of your? Because the command you've already got 1 in.
Yeah. So there's a difference between the XP I'm going to train, and there's also the every time I roll a desperate action, mark XP in that action. So I got that. I got the resolve basically for rolling a desperate action.
Right.
So now I can choose to put it in insight, prowess, or resolve, or train a special ability. How does that work?
You have to put it in your playbook advancement.
The one below, underneath the
You either
special
put-
abilities.
You either put another one in your playbook, or you put 1 in the 3.
Let's just go for the points for now. Let's do insight with the other one.
Okay. And then you said we already cleared your stress.
Yeah.
Okay. Desi. What are you going to do?
Pretty much the same. Just roll for the stress and then put 1 down in playbook advancement.
Okay. Something I was going to tell you, since you seemed highly interested, opening that book is a project that you can engage in as downtime.
Ooh.
Cool. Yeah.
That's an extended project. Okay.
So
Let's do it.
Okay. So what did you want to do?
I want to get rid of the stress if I can, and
Okay, so
then
you're gonna indulge your stress.
yeah, indulge.
Indulge your
Right.
stress.
That's pretty much my life. Yeah.
Nice. 3.
I have no vices, so
Okay, so here, if the result of your vice roll means you clear more stress levels than you have marked, you overindulge. So,
ooh.
So you want to keep a healthy amount of stress.
So here is what happens when you overindulge, and I will let you choose one of these 4 things. You attract trouble. If you choose to attract trouble, then we roll off the table, and then whatever the roll is the kind of trouble that you attract. 2, you brag about your exploits. You brag about what happened to to your purveyor of vice, which increases your personal heat by 2.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Or
3.
Or
You are lost. This character vanishes for a few weeks, and you have to play a different character until this one returns.
oh my god, they all
When the-
suck.
but this would be a
Character-
character that you would create, or I would have to go through creating a whole new character.
You have to create a whole new character.
But remember, we're gonna have to get used to that because in this game,
I
characters
know,
are kinda
and I'm
disposable,
sure once
so-
we've been through this now, it will
Brag
go
about
faster.
it. Just brag about what you did. Who gives a shit?
The 4th option is that you are tapped, which means your current purveyor cuts you off.
Oh hell no!
How do you find a new one?
That's exactly
I'll
why
brag.
that's-
I'll brag.
So, well, you are out.
What's up, motherfucker? We found this book. It was awesome.
You are wandering around the Takarosi rooftop market in Silk Shore, and it is not perhaps bragging so much as overactive questioning of going through the market and talking to those, being too comfortable among those who are like you, and asking too many questions and attracting some heat.
Yeah.
So, where is the heat on here?
But I cleared my stress, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
So I can unmark that? Or you have
If
to
you-
unmark that. Okay.
Overindulge. Yes, if you clear more, you've cleared your stress. Does anybody see where heat is on here?
Page 147.
No, on the page.
Oh, on the page.
Is it under harm? No.
Uh-uh.
I think it's actually. Oh, I know exactly where it is. I bet. Yep, found it.
Hmm.
That's on your crew. That's not just on you.
Ooh, that makes sense. We all run in a pack, so when I open my mouth,
Well,
Wow,
damn you.
thanks.
ooh boy.
So,
Got to figure out how to get rid of heat.
and then
Go
you
for
said
it.
that you were also starting a long-term project to.
Yeah, to
Open
figure
the-
out opening the book.
All right. Well then, here is how that works. Let me get out my note, as it were.
Or Amber's getting sleepy.
We're almost done.
6 minutes.
I told her 9-ish, yeah.
Where is my?
Hi, Frey.
Welcome to the stream.
Sleepy
The only
head.
way to get rid of heat is to go to jail.
What?
What?
Is that just your wanted level? Wait. When the tracker is full, okay. If we get to the wanted level, if our heat goes so high up that our wanted level goes up, the only way to get rid of the wanted level is to go to jail.
So you
One
can't
way is
reduce heat?
incarceration.
There are
I'm
ways
looking.
to reduce heat.
We just kill all the police officers and the heat goes away, right?
We own this town.
That's right.
That is way too fucking big.
That's what I was thinking too, John. I was like, oh, this is like GTA. Like every time you piss somebody off, you get the star or whatever it was, and then the cops come after your ass. That was exactly where my mind was going.
So we just have to visit the car shop and change the paint job on our car and all the heat goes away, right?
Exactly.
No problem.
So
Ah.
roll a 1d6. Desi.
Hold on. I thought you had to do the rolling. Where's their rolling?
If you need to do a roll, up on the left-hand corner, you'll see a little die,
Oh, okay.
and then just roll. Just go under. If you go.
Like that?
Yep. So you manage to tick one die or one side of your clock. When that clock is filled, you'll unlock the book,
Cool.
which leaves Aldrich. How are you using your downtime?
I don't want to indulge my vice because I don't want to overindulge, and I only have 2.
Reduce heat.
That's what I was going to say. Can I
Yeah,
reduce
he figured
heat?
that out.
Or because it's happening at the same time that she's gaining the heat, that it.
Let me. Yes, you can in fact attempt to reduce heat. Let me look up the exact mechanics for how that works real quick here.
Okay.
Because I don't want to steer you wrong, but I do believe that that is actually.
And then I also had one of Skot at the bottom had every time you roll a desperate action. I have 3 more underneath it, and one of them says you address the challenge with tracking or violence.
That is because you did that with tracking. You do get 1.
And that's should be something for you other people to look at your playbook, because I think the first one on that list of 3 is based on your class, so it's going to be different.
Okay, so Aldrich, how are you going to reduce heat?
I'm going to go around and
use the same actions for how you would from your book. So if you wanted to, like, if you want to consort with somebody to try to ease people's minds, you can do that. Or if you wanted to, however you want to do it.
Yeah, I can do that. I can go ease people's minds. I didn't know if. Well, the first thing that popped to mind, though, I don't know if it's an option. Was going to be to point the police at the thugs, point the blue coats at the thugs that did. Point the finger the other way. They're the ones who actually killed the guy. We just.
So if you were going to
set them up,
I would. So, and I'll put this in front of the group. Part of me wants to say that swaying you influence with guile, charm, or argument, but attempting to manipulate something for somebody else to see that also could fall under surveying. You observe the situation and attempt to anticipate outcomes.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
I think sway because it's more of an argument.
That sounds like a sway thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
the survey seems like it's the planning leading up to the information you would use for the sway.
Okay, so then you need to roll 2 because you don't have anything in sway. You need to roll 2 die, and you take the lowest.
Oh gosh.
3.
No, not 2. So yeah, it would be, if we're going by that. Yeah, so you would take
3.
a 3. So you reduce the heat by 1.
Okay. And then I'll use my other to train. And I will put that in. There's prowess.
All right. And with that, our first very short score and session for Blades in the Dark and our BFG cultists has ended.
BFG. Oh my God. Nice.
This is why I love our crew, because we all have very similar sense of humor. So when I read that out loud, I was like, I know where this is going. I know where this is going.
It was not, I like this.
Well, Nox, if you want to go over a little bit about plans for the future with this, possible new players and just
Okay, so here we'll handle that really quick. For those who are listening, you might have noticed that there is a crew, which intrinsically means there is room for more than just the people who are on screen tonight. We can actually have more people if you have a webcam and you have a microphone and you're willing to take some time to show up a little early. I am totally for that. I'm in the TTRPG channel on Pixie server. I do not have a problem because I know that there are some people who are just not going to be able to do
Every single
time.
week. Yes.
And that is totally not only expected, that's even cool. Because
Think of it as guest starring.
So it gives you the opportunity to do a little bit of on-screen time with us. It gives us the opportunity to kind of flesh out. Might give you the opportunity to check out a new system you haven't had a chance to check out. So yeah, I am all about that. If people want to start taking the opportunity to talking about that, what they want to do, how they'd want to do their characters, I will help with character creation.
Yeah, John, get in here.
Right?
I just noticed I forgot my homework.
Ooh.
Oops. That's
I'll
plus
help
2
you out
each
with
for
it.
you.
We'll get through it. It'll be
Plus
fine.
2 each for you.
Well, guys, this has been awesome. I've really enjoyed myself. I want to thank Skot for joining me, Amber, Zach, and Knox. I think we're all going to have a really good time with this one. So if you're enjoying Vampire the Masquerade, please join us now on Thursday nights as well. I will update my schedule both on Twitch and on Discord. And just thanks for sticking with us tonight. I know it wasn't a full-fledged session, but kind of give you guys an idea of, if you can handle this and us, then welcome aboard. So, last minute follow, subs, bits, anything you guys want to jump in there, and then I'm going to get you guys rated over. Thank you for the follow, Dry Gold. I'm glad you could join us tonight. But yeah, we will get rated over. I think we're going to join Master Pancake tonight. If you guys like riffing movies, you will enjoy Master Pancake. So just stick with us. We'll get us sent over.
Are they doing Lone Star 911 tonight?
Yep.
The new episode from Monday?